Yes, people, welcome again, man. Welcome again to the Nick and Dan podcast. A little bit late, I don't know the Gold Cup derailed us, but hope everybody, had a wonderful day. It's Sunday, it's late at this moment, but it's kind of a little bit early, on Daniel's side. You understand? But happy Sunday. The Gold Cup has come to an end. The Mexican back to back winning the Gold Cup. But how you doing, man? It's a Sunday so far. It's probably around what touching close to 7 o'clock your time.
Yeah, pretty much, didn't get to able to watch that game at all, that Gold Cup final, but I did see some highlights of the game. But Mexico come on strong. Pochettino have a um horrible, my words, horrible record in final. But
Mhm.
kudos to Mexico. They well deserve it. But Sunday, let's kick it off. You don't know.
Yeah, so we going to discuss a little bit around the Gold Cup. Discuss the best happenings that happen around the Gold Cup. You understand the most surprising team, disappointed team, and then we're going to touch a little bit on that Rudolph Speid interview that he did with Sportsmax. Discuss more in that as well. We have a coach that going to discuss what is happening around local coaches, what happened in the past, and how things have improved. A very experienced coach coaching, a lot of youths in Jamaica, someone that I've worked with, a prominent figure, in the local space as well, Jeffrey Maxwell, Alric Clark, the man named Carl Clarkey, as well, more on the flip side of, being behind the scene, developing young players at the high school level, for Manning Cup coaches. So we're going to get his perspective on, what is going on around, and if Rudolph Speid is doing a good job at the moment, with the revamp of the coaching education in Jamaica. And discuss still, the topic is still on. You understand? What a disappointed time for the Reggae Boys fans, see our national team derail like that, in the Gold Cup. So it's a non-stop talking topic. You understand, Daniel, Gold Cup, disappointed, man. That's like, the Brazilians, yeah. After these years, kept talking about that 7-1, versus the German national team. But what's you move on, from here, with the what how would you sums up the Gold Cup, compared to the one that played last 2 years when Mexico won it?
I think this is one of the most disappointing World Cup, performance and results wise. We have
Mm-hmm.
not able to make it out of our group. Looking at the group that we got in this World Cup, I think is this is one of the most disappointing, and a lot of bad performance from a lot of players overall. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't like I can tell you right now which one of these players have been more the best player or been impressive in the tournament. Nobody. You get what I'm saying? So I think out of everybody have been dreadful in this tournament. You get what I'm saying? So I think this is have been one of our worst tournament over the last years.
Yeah. So I want to, introduce you guys, to a coach that, coach that develop, me and Daniel as well, one that responsible for our youth career in Jamaica as well. Many youths, all over, in Kingston as well. But I just want to get him on the line, and it's his first time being on the show, live, giving his takes, being a regular watch, and an audience supporter as well from day one. But Mr. Coach Robert Chin, welcome, to the live. How you doing? Happy Sunday, my friend.
Good night, Dan. Good night, Nick, and good night to your audience worldwide.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Um.
having me.
Yes. Yes.
Professor, I don't know.
Thanks. Thanks for being here. To come and give your opinion on what is going on with the coaching revamp of the coaching schools in Jamaica at this moment. But I want to get your perspective on what kind of Gold Cup you think it was overall before we get into the personal matters with our national team.
Uh, I think it was a bizarre one. I think the team not playing good. The camaraderie, the chemistry, it shows in the result because in the tournament before that we went to the final with Nigeria, he had a good chemistry and a good thing going on, and then coming into the Gold Cup, we go for names, and those names did not produce for the national team, and hence that is the result that took place. That way, we got booted out early, so we have to just live by it.
Yeah. Very disappointed one, still, after, so many days passed and we're still on that topic talking about a disappointment tournament. And, I was just talking to you, probably just like 5, 10 minutes ago about the US game, the final. I want to touch and look a bit on the final. I told you that as much as the Mexican won it in a back to back, the first time they have done it since 07, 09. I feel that it was a little bit disappointed and a Mexican perspective of I think they will be going for that kill. What happened in the Nations League when the US brought their A team and they just demolished, the Mexican team in the final. What's your takes? Because you said something, that I think a lot of fans need to hear as well.
I think there's a lot of things striving on this final. There's a lot of things going on otherwise and on off the field of football. So there's a lot of tension brewing into this final. But when you look at it, really, we don't have much talent in the CONCACAF right now because who's our star person in the CONCACAF? A person that you can look towards, like when you used to have a Blanco, a couple other players, a Walter Boyd, a Theodore Whitmore. Who are the players, even a Reina and a couple other US players? Who are those players in the CONCACAF that we can look towards to say, listen, people is going out to watch those players. We don't have that type of talent in the CONCACAF. So it shows in the final today. It,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just a rugged final. Uh, they fought hard and
yeah,
back and forth. So that's just it.
yeah. I believe that what's that, Daniel? Hold on. Let me get this back in touch. Yeah, so I personally I believe that the Mexican kind of dropped the ball a little bit in terms of want to get back one up on the US men's national team, but you have to give Pochettino a lot of credit. He set up his team. He know exactly what the Mexican were going to do in this game, how they're going to cover the half space, how they're going to maneuver the football, and he makes sure that every time when this team turn over the football, his team get back into shape as quick as possible, nullify the attacking players down that wing where they cannot damage the US teams. You're talking about Alvarado, you're talking about the Luis Vega and the both wing backs. They didn't really get much opportunities to really to get beyond this US team because they sit the US the US didn't really follow the trap, get the bait, and get out of shape. So you have to give Pochettino a lot of credit for that. But again, Mexican, they won it, and you will say a win is a win. But Daniel, look, the Mexican won it back to back. Last campaign, it was Panama. No, it's the bitter rival. The last time a national team win three in a row, it was the Mexican team, 93, 96, and 98. It seems like they finding back their mojo, even with a poor Mexican team, but a very good leadership coming from the dugout. You see, but this team is going back to be the giant team in this region again.
Yeah, I think Mexico over the past couple years they have been criticized a lot. They have been firing a lot of coaches. They have been the players have been performing below part. You get what I'm saying? So I think they finally starting to put a group of players together. And the new coach he came in and did a really good job. Especially with Marquez, the assistant coach came in to help him. You get what I'm saying? So I think they do have a core group of players that's look very good, with more of the young players and the experience. You get what I'm saying? So I think Mexico is looking for they're gonna be really judged what's going to happen into the World Cup, because they have been very poor over the last couple World Cups. You get what I'm saying? They have not
Yeah.
able to make it out of their group. No, they have not been able to make it from
Yeah,
the
from their
run.
group and to to that
run.
promised land. Yeah, run off quarterfinals.
Yes, so I think people really gonna judge them onto that, and people saying that this is not the best American team. Yes, that's right, but you have to beat the team that in front of you, and to get all get to always get one over your rivals is always important. No matter what team is put out there, Mexico, United States
Yeah,
of America, is always always high game. You get what I'm saying? So they always anyone who win that game is always gonna have the bragging rights. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely.
Yeah.
So I think that winning that game was very important to the amigos. I don't know.
You was going to say something a while ago, coach. You was going to say something what Daniel said.
Yeah, definitely, because this is a bitter rivalry between the US and the Mexico, and for a couple of years now, the Mexican haven't been dominating the CONCACAF. So to come back and win this one, it's all go well for their program going forward into the 2026 World Cup.
Yeah, and for like camaraderie, for morals amongst the players, their
Yeah,
last real competitive game, they won a trophy. How much Avi Aguirre looking forward to, and Marquez looking for 12 months from now to at least make that step to at least a semi-final in this region for the World Cup. Coach them.
yeah. Go
Yeah.
again. I didn't.
Yeah, so I say, for squad morals, as a coach, this is your
Oh
last
yeah,
competitive game, before you get into the World Cup. You know how much this is important for them, at least knowing that look, they won the trophy, bragging rights, and they should be flying high and confidence.
yeah, this is very important for the squad going forward. To keep the momentum going into the World Cup. So it all goes well and it all do good for their squad going into the World Cup to
Yeah,
shape. And probably they have looking at a couple more pieces outside talent, because I think they need a next center forward to at least cover Numes up
yeah,
front,
yeah,
at least one
yeah,
more pieces up front to
yeah,
cover him.
yeah. But I want to get your more thoughts on a disappointed, Reggae Boy campaign. I mean, what you learn, from a coaching perspective, from Steve McLaren in this tournament that just finished.
Ah, it's hard to sum up Jamaican team, because I don't think any coaching is taking place with this Jamaican squad. I think this Jamaican squad is lukewarm. There's so many things going bad with this Jamaican team, because our star player, who they claim that is our star player, not stepping up, and who's supposed to be the leader of this team, he is not stepping up, and the coach to me afraid to make big decision. You understand? And put some of these players on the bench, because Demar Gray come back, and to me, Demar Gray haven't been playing well, and a person who have been playing well, you pull him out the team just to suit Demar Gray. You understand?
Yeah.
Which is Ronaldo Cephas. Cephas has been our most productive player from the Africa. What was that league?
The Unity
That was
Cup.
the Unity Cup, and you pull out Ronaldo Cephas just because of Demar Gray has his name out there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
break up the whole chemistry of the whole team. You understand? Hence that's why we play how we play. And Leon Bailey does not living up to expectation. You understand? Leon Bailey is carrying a lot of baggage. Until Leon Bailey let go those baggage that he's carrying for the national team and the national program, then he will not play how Leon Bailey is supposed to be playing. And it's unnecessary baggage that Leon Bailey is carrying. It's not even that him carrying his own baggage, Him carrying baggage for other persons. But Leon just need to let go that car. Leon is a very talented player. We know that Leon can do what the job, but he's just not delivering for the national team because him carrying baggage.
Mm.
Unwanted baggage also. Leon does need to let go those baggage and play with a lot of just play with love and play with a lot of freeness and fun. And
Yeah,
then Leon Bailey will deliver.
yeah,
But once Leon Bailey keep on carrying those baggage and thinking persons don't like him and the program don't like him and the whole Jamaican people fighting against him, that is unwanted baggage. Let go all of those stuff and just play football. Go out there, enjoy your game and
yeah,
deliver for the country. Do what you love.
yeah. I understand, what he's saying, and I could agree, to probably 95% of the time. Probably the next 5% is probably the coach. I know he's utilizing Leon Bailey as well, but he have to make a man of him own. He's a star player for this team, and he is that player that America look at Pulisic. We are looking at Leon Bailey as captain Jamaica to carry us to that next level, because when you look at how he's playing on the club level, he's top of the pinnacle. So until you said he let go of a lot of those baggage, and he will start to strive. But again, Leon Bailey needs to start to think as a leader, which I don't even know. Do you see Leon Bailey as a leader on the pitch, coach?
No, Leon Bailey is not that man. Leon Bailey is not that man. Don't fool on yourself. He's not that guy. Leon Bailey probably supposed to just be a role player in a good team and he will execute and do what. Because he has skills and talent. Yeah. But when they talk about leadership and to pick up the mantle, he's not that guy. Because when we watching Leon Bailey from Leon Bailey was like 6 year old. Because you guys know you play with him, we train with him, come right up through his career. Leon Bailey was not that person in the Phoenix U team. Even Kyle Butler was more of a person who would lead the team, have that sense of leadership and organizing the team.
Yeah,
The same Kyle Butler yesterday.
yeah, and
Kyle Butler in
and he
most of
was
the
he's
field.
a bit
When
younger.
yeah, when I was watching them when they were pretty much younger, Kyle Butler was more of a leader.
Mm. Yeah.
Leon Bailey was like the skill barrier who just break down team, take on team and do his thing.
So you're saying that all that point. So you're saying that we should more look at him as that player that will break down defensive unit, try to get 1v1 and try to create for his for his teammates, not to, lead, vocally or whatever, but to lead by his skills.
Exactly that is what he was built for. That is what Leon Bailey was built for. He wasn't built to take on responsibility and lead team and be vocal like a Diego Maradona or
Could say Steve Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard.
Hmm.
He's not that type of guy. So if we are looking to Leon Bailey to be that type of guy, we are going to be feeling miserably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get Daniel in, I want to respect, my other, guests, shower curtain, welcome to the platform again. I mean, look, the Gold Cup have come to an end, the Mexican have won it back to back now, but what you have learned, I want you to answer this, but to stay away more from the Reggae Boy standpoint, just overall, you sums up, the other 15 teams in this Gold Cup.
Um, so I think the most important lesson, I think the other teams other than Jamaica, despite how less talented they are than us, and even the USA's and I think they are up to date with where football is at now. And
Mhm.
the smaller teams are actually trying to do the basic things and trying to reach to where football is at now, compared to Jamaica, and that are the biggest takeaways. Even though them now have the quality, yes, them definitely are try if play football, or them are try get to where the football reach now compared to us. So that are the biggest takeaway. The smaller teams, them are trying to play the way football is being played now.
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel, I want you to, zone in on what, coach just said a while ago on Leon Bailey about, his leadership, with the skill, not as a man like a Diego Armando Maradona.
Yeah, Coach Chin is right, 100% right. Over the years, I've never labeled Liam Bailey as a leader. As Coach said, he's a very good player, talented, everything have the skill, and Coach is 100% right. Kyle Butler was the leader of that Phoenix team. Whenever we played him, as young as he was and small, he gave that leadership presence. Liam Bailey was that. But um Liam Bailey, the problem with Liam Bailey is that he is bringing baggage and he is bringing unwanted baggage for no reason. I don't know why he wanna bring these baggage. You get what I'm saying? But I just think that the ego is getting to his head and he's just never gonna able to put that aside and just play the football. And just by he wants to fly on plane in a different just want to fly plane. He wants to be in a own room by himself. That's that alone does tell you that this guy is only focused on the unnecessary things. You get what I'm saying? Like, his priority should always try to put the team first, try to get this country to or work up for such a long time. You get what I'm saying? So I think until he able to put all of those things aside, he will never able to fully perform to his capability. Because when he at Aston Villa, he ain't gonna worry about nothing. He just have to perform. Or
Yeah,
else Aston Villa, him and the Villa fans gonna have problem. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? But when he comes to Jamaica, it's like a burden on him. Him have to buy this, him have to pay for that. Let go that. Is me I say? Him and the federation and him father a problem. Is me I say? So I think that until he able to, which I doubt it's gonna happen. I don't think it will ever happen. I personally think so. I think this is just the Bailey that we ever gonna get, and his Jamaica career will just go to waste. Personally,
yeah. Get to this, but yeah, I just think that there's so many distractions around Leon Bailey, and how he prepare, and how he probably focusing on the pitch. His body language at times can be a little bit erratic, different in terms of where he playing. Even under Dean Smith, at Aston Villa, Unai Emery, there's many different things about Leon Bailey, but show a curtain, boss. I want to move forward, with our national team. You said that you learned that a lot of teams in this region, like the Guatemala, they punch heavy, in this tournament. You say the Panamanians might be a little bit disappointed. The Costa Rican, the fourth time in a row, knockout in the quarterfinal zone. I think they have knocked out in the quarterfinal section the most in this region in the World Cup. So there's a lot of things in the game, but what is the biggest moving point of look? These are the stuff that we need to embrace as a national team, and knowing that this is a level we at and what we need to move forward with.
Holy pass something, bro. Bro, what are we behind? Despite the talents we have, what are we behind? We make a presentation for our next program. And point out some things. I don't know if you did get the opportunity to watch that I think it was what's that guy's name? The guy who does, I think it does podcast with Ryan sometimes. What's his name?
Oh, Francis, yeah, I listening. Were you referring to go back into the history of stuff
Yeah,
like that?
man.
Yeah.
I'm showing some of the problem them like, bro. It's stem from the top in terms of how the head of the other thing, or
Structure.
with structure. You see me, and not only that, we know we have a structure, but even the coaches them were IFA,
Yeah.
just align. Or me make an example with when Captain Burrell did the Napoli, right?
Yeah.
At the time, as me that say, Brazil, they really had dominated football at the time, right?
Yeah.
And captain saw what was needed as the head and went straight to Brazil for Enesimus. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a coach and
Not just
Brazil.
Rennie Simons, but a coach.
Yeah, a coach who could have come where, you know, a coach
Yeah.
in the region where football actually evolved at the time.
Yeah.
Then come actually bring you up to speed with what is needed at this time, right? 'Cause remember
Yeah.
football it evolved them kind of from before. So the head actually look where football did there at the time and went for somebody from somebody from that region to bring us up to scratch. You saw where that brought us, right?
Yeah.
So the man coming
Professionalism.
up, yeah, man bringing a professionalism, man bringing a structure. The man went for players who he thought at the time could bring about that type of system, and in terms of how we play and our quality well. He went for those players. I noticed the man go major league for a player like what's his name, the defender named Pepe Goodison. He went to Wolmer's for a youth player, Bibi Gardner, because he saw something in those players exactly at the time that that them
He was
play at the
watching
time.
Business House League as well in
Definitely.
Jamaica.
So him did I watch the thing
Yeah.
them and see the players them with the attributes based on what we have, right? And based on what the game then, he might look on the players them and him pick players and think could I bring it up best. So you saw where that brought us, right? And at the end
Yeah.
to you see when go overseas because you saw that we needed quality, right? And not
Yeah.
only quality, but quality that fits our play. And you saw where the coach exactly went for that overseas when him bringing the parallels and him bringing those persons, when him look on them and say them man look like them can the Dean Burton them and bringing them man
Yeah. The finishing product.
yeah. Same sister we could sister them man they could have bring based on what we have. We didn't need bolstering, and it went for not only players who just they were better than what we have, but players who fit the system, who fit our style of play, who is willing to take on the instructions and bring the football, or at least bring it to a level to where it was, right? To where it was at the time. And it's obviously different now, you see me? When you talk about our administration select coaches, it's baffling, bro. You see me? Me
Yeah.
even give a shot in sister England, bro. And she said England with all them talent from 1974, bro. The last World Cup of England went in 1966, right?
Yeah.
And we've been giving some teams like Brazil, Argentina, Germany, France, Spain, and Netherlands at the latter part leading up to now, where evolve, the football evolve, and at them region they really carry the swing. England haven't been even with the quality where England having about Rooney and all them guys there. They haven't been to another World Cup final from 1966, bro. And
Yeah.
from 1974, bro, them haven't been to there. You see me I say? So the administration, as me I tell you, go wrong in terms of the region where them are look for coach to bring we up to scratch, bro. England is not that region, bro. As bad as thing, as much as we are look on the names, the man, all of the big name England coach. If you watch Gary Southgate, how long him have England team, bro? As one of the top
Yeah.
English coach.
Can I make a quick 5-second point as well?
Definitely.
When you look in the English Premier League, I think the percentage of English managers as coaching at the highest level in England is probably around 4%. Less than that.
Definitely. So you get the point to me, I say. So
Yeah.
federation a blunder, bro. Because we get a coach who is not only whole, but archaic, but from a country where football no really, if they don't really evolve, bro, them still they're almost the same, despite the talent where them are produced, bro, as a big English team, bro, them still can't make it to a final again from them kind of, bro, even with the talent. So that show you say football, bro, pass, them have the talent and they will get to a certain level. Yes, they will make it to the World Cup because of the talent of other teams. But in terms of that quality and where football has evolved now to bring them finals, bro, them not gonna ever did it because them still stuck in our way, bro. And for
Yeah.
our management go for your coach from there, bro, it spells volume, you see me? And that is
Yeah.
just on the management structure. So you
Yeah.
know where I get from a coach like that.
I want to hold the point right there.
Yeah.
Coach, you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so the World Cup, is finished. Now we're moving on to Bermuda, then Trinidad, and then the other 4 games, to finish up the World Cup cycle. What are some of the things that, as a coach, you move forward with this national team, going into September?
I just think the players know, even though, because them see what we have, as the gentleman was saying, they see the type of coach that the federation went for and know who we have and what we have to deal with. So the players have to step up now and know that, listen, them going to do it for them country. Whether they have a coach or they don't have a coach there, them in themselves now need to know, so them have to step up and start play some football. You understand?
Yeah.
Them
Um.
can't just depend upon say the coaches and him a implement. We know the coaches have to take charge in that area there when implementing tactics and in philosophy and everything. But the players have to start take some responsibility because the team does not play enough football at all.
Yeah.
You understand? And the persons them were really hungry for the football, like a Kaim Dixon and a Ronaldo Cephas and a Mikel Antonio. I mean, hear people it didn't even bash Mikel Antonio the other day. If people know the amount of discipline and work that Antonio put in just to come back on the pitch, and person who never in an accident and could have trained on them own, not even put in quarter of the work where Antonio put in. And them a mumble about certain person who did not get picked into the squad. We have to applaud Antonio for what he did and come back to football.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard anyone, around the space have said anything like that. And Mikel Antonio and the work ethic of getting back on the pitch, of going through such a tragic, car accident. We saw what happened with Jata a couple of days ago, that he didn't even make it to tell his story. You understand? Antonio make it to tell his story,
Exactly.
and he did everything what he needs to do inside of the gym, discipline, stay true to himself, and work on a plan. And and then you have to say it as well, big up to the West Ham, medical staff as well. They did an excellent job to get him back to where he's at this moment, and for him to get released from the football club, but still allow inside, the West Ham medical facility. It's something that's superb, West Ham is doing, but I mean, Daniel, over to you. The 6 games are really coming up, and disappointed, times around on and off the pitch. But moving forward, we have make a lot of claims on Steve McLaren and how poor his tactics were in that Gold Cup. But the players have to take responsibility coming September.
That's
That, look,
true. That's
you
true.
know, they need to make sure that, look, they do their part as well on the football pitch, even though a coach is coaching a team with no eyes, no ears, no nose, nothing. But at least the players have to just know that the fundamental stuff as a player, yeah, that you work hard for the team, you do the least is hard work. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I think first, we need to see what's going to happen to most of our players, senior players that play for the national team. What's going to happen between now and the transfer market is going to close? What's going to
Yeah.
happen? Where some of these players going to be going and able to get more game time to be get back into shape and get back into form, because I feel like we have a lot of players that going to be out of a club looking for a move. You get what I'm saying? A lot of unsettled players. So that's another perspective where we're gonna have to start looking into going forward to the next international window.
Yeah.
So we will know where these players are. You get what I'm saying? But I think that knowing that Jamaica is not gonna fire Steve McLaren, and we're gonna have to move forward with him. I think from now to the next window, let's see what kind of work he's doing off the field. Let's see what he's doing, because I feel like we were saying this a lot. Like, is he doing his research? Is he recruiting the right set of players? Is he getting the right players in? Because I feel like he's sleeping on the job. You get what I'm saying? Because just by seeing what happened in the World Cup, we were short so many players, so many midfielders, and he had so many time off to able to go and do his research and get the right set of players them in, and we came up short. You get what I'm saying? So let's see what happened from now until September when the next window comes up. Where all these players that's not having a club, not getting game time, where they're gonna be, and what the coach is doing off the field to get some more players in.
Yeah, sure, Kurt. I know you want to have your takes on what I said about players need to take more responsibility on the pitch as well, as much as the coach do on the touchline.
Yeah, that yeah, I second that. um, I I I was beating the coach at first, because I think coach have that responsibility. Coaches have that responsibility to organize them team and get them team.
Yeah.
Actually, I play, but after doing my research, after doing the research, and just I explained to you, realize that we don't really get much from this coach, and he's already here. I was waiting on the verdict to see if them would have lay him off or them are gonna have him. And the fact of the matter is that him still are there, right?
Yeah.
So me beating up myself now, now make a difference. Me know what I expect. As in, me looking at the history, I know how the England coaches them stay. So me don't really expect much. And he been talking about quality and who is to come. So obviously, is depending on the big names to come in to win, right? So whether we have him or not, I think it all like boil down to the players. But then him as Dan just said a while ago, him say him learn some lessons. So we just have to watch what him do in the season coming up and see how well him go looking at what him do and him selection going forward. Because I think that's going to be key is selection. But I think the players, as I say, have to take responsibility to. But majority of our team unfit. 90% of the team unfit, bro. Even with top ball of them unfit. You can count on your unlike on one hand the players that move fit. You could have seen it's a lot of fit. Yeah.
I can pick up that. I do think it's done because none of these players is not playing.
Yeah, man, definitely.
And the fitness is not for the national team. That's not the national team issue.
But most of them is sitting on the bench, or some of them is not.
Even Ethan Pinnock, even our defender, Ethan Pinnock, unfit, very unfit. You see it. So the players them not fit none at all, and they need to take accountability on the field, because I think despite what the coach put out there, you are in the game, and we think we have better quality players than other teams. We're supposed to step up them game as Dan said, and them not really do it. So I think them have to go step up them game.
But sure, Curtin,
yeah,
you have to go back to what you first said. These smaller teams is getting coached. So when these players go up against the teams that we thought they should have been beaten, they're clueless, and the coach is not able to guide them on the field. So when you're going up against these teams that are getting really good coaches now, and your coach is not helping you out on the sideline, it's very difficult to beat these teams.
That's true, but you see the good thing, the positive thing about this, as I say, I'm worried about that, but the positive thing about this is that the teams that were out to qualify for the World Cup, I think they are less quality to Guatemala. Not saying them not play football, but I think they are less quality to Guatemala, and me not really compare. We don't play nothing at the World Cup, but for Guatemala just score one. It's kind of encouraging despite we not playing nothing now, and we're not looking tactically aware, and the players then look all that out there. It still gives me confidence that we can still actually fight through and qualify CMA. So that is a good part about it, right? However, for the footballer now playing on the field, I think we definitely are going to need fit players, bro, if we even want to play like we really want to play, to tell the truth. Even with the coaches structure out there. Because you see other teams literally are run, bro, and I try to keep the ball. And for you to try to keep the ball as they just watch Mexico do, you have to run. You have to pop up. You have to make them triangles there to pass the 1-2, so move the ball. And if you are not fit, bro, it's difficult for you to pop up to make those 1-2s. And the farther apart you are as a team, is the harder it is for you to make those passes better. So the players them definitely have to go start get more playing time at them club, as Dan say, so they can come in at the team as fit as possible, and hopefully the coach pick fit players who are fit and who are up for the challenge and who have the fight at them. Because we don't have the fight, so we need players who have the fight, who fit and willing for run. Definitely.
Yeah. But coach, I think, but our players are more superior, talented than individually. It might give us that slight little edge, of over Curacao, the Bermuda team and Trinidad and Tobago, that we might be, a little bit closer, even though we are not playing anything on the football pitch. The coach is not doing anything off the pitch, but our players individually, might maybe be the big difference for the Reggae Boy team going forward if this is going to continue.
We might have individual players that better than the rest of the teams that are in our zone. But Nikada, we need to play as a team if we want to qualify for this World Cup. The coaches, the management staff, the president, and everybody have to get this thing right and singing off one hymn sheet if we want to qualify for this World Cup. Because right now, Jamaica playing one lover trip, skimmage, individual ball game, Jamaica
Have
playing.
Grimsey said something like that? Didn't he say something like that, show a curtain about the
Yeah,
discipline
man.
and how we played, So the previous coach have said something
Yeah,
like
man.
that. What you just touch upon about, it's like we playing one love a trick game.
I never heard it before, but just watching and just analyzing it, that is the conclusion I come to. It's like Jamaica playing individual ball game. And if you look at our senior persons and persons that themselves supposed to lead this um, team, Shower Curtain touch on a very important point. They are not fit. Because if you look at a Leon Bailey structure, body structure, it's just don't ready. Him don't look like even no Leon Bailey don't look nowhere near Cristiano Ronaldo
Yeah,
or a professional player who's playing in Europe.
yeah,
And a lot more of the player, even Antonio look
yeah.
fitter than
Antonio,
some of the players then man. Him just
his,
come back there.
his physiques is crazy.
Crazy, yeah. And that is the type of fitness and strength it will take you for qualify for this World Cup and dedication and the love for the country. But because how we are playing now, not gonna take us over I tell you this, to how Speid is approaching the football now, and Speid is not really likable everywhere in
Yeah, yeah,
Jamaica.
yeah.
But I can tell you, he would have do a far better job than what this coach is doing, and it's him hire this coach. So I don't know who, I can't see through this.
This team haven't improved. Are you saying this team haven't
The,
improved since
from
Al Grimsey?
August to take over the team have get worse, worse. The players don't respect him, The players
Yeah,
don't respect the national coach, And I don't know, but I can see it out there. It's like them don't respect him. The senior players them don't respect him because
Yeah.
it's even what happened with Damari Gray coming into the side after the injury that him have and not playing anything. That show me that the coach probably taking talk from persons in the background. Him is like a yes man.
Yeah.
So who are the leaders? Who are the leaders though? Well, I'm not sure, but who are the leaders though? In this team, because you've been around the journey of 98, and even the local players that play locally in the Jamaican Premier League, many of them coach. No, not coach, but captain their club team as well. But who are the sets of leaders in this team that can galvanize this team on the pitch?
Richard King. Richard King is one of the best player in the CONCACAF, and every minute him taking Richard King off of the field. And that Richard King is our born and bred Jamaican player. You have a Kaim Dixon that is very hungry for a game who want to play consistently and not getting the chance. Every time you look, you have Lambert, that is the guy that him put in midfield to subsidize in midfield, who play around the back sometime.
You talking the Gold Cup that just finished?
Lati Matter.
Lati. Oh, Joe Lati
Oh,
body.
Lati Bodier.
Yeah.
Lati Bodier can play as half as Richard King.
Yeah.
Can't angle the ball like Richard King. Can't think the game like Richard King. Can't pass the ball like Richard King. The difference between Lati Bodier and Richard King is just because him get a better opportunity and playing in Europe, and Richard King was playing in the Jamaica Premier League. I remember, I don't know Richard King from Adams, All I know that him play for Clarendon College and him play for
Cavalier.
Cavaliers. That's all I know. I don't know, but I just love this kid or this kid execute the game at a high level. And Richard King
But
muscle.
coach, I kind of disagree with the leadership part too. I think I think me like the fighting at them, but I think the leadership, me not think them have the leadership thing in them. It's only one man I see basically right now in the team. Not even Low, not even Andre. and it's the guy named Bobby Reed. I think
Yes.
I see a different thing. Bobby Reed look like the only true leader we have on it. When you see Bobby Reed out on the field,
Yeah, good
he
point.
literally, me not think King and a leader and a Dixon. We say leader, them
No,
have them
not
right of them.
Dixon. Dixon is not leader. Richard
Yeah.
King is a leader. Richard
I
King
think
is a leader.
I don't see it anymore there. It's only Bobby Reed alone I see on this team who looks like a real true leader.
No, you have to remember, you know, Bobby Reed been playing more often than Richard King. You know, Richard King just come into the national side, you know, so he have to tread carefully, you know. So you have to put all of that into perspective, you know.
Yeah,
You
but all of
understand?
the teams supposed to be leader, bro. All of the teams supposed to be leader, bro. Not just
You have to understand, Striker, and you have to understand that when you come in as a young player,
Young player.
in the national setup, you have to be careful, and you come in as a young player, even though you have your own leader, the leader ability, because he lead Cavalier's team. So him coming into the national thing, him probably looking up to them, Andre Blake,
exactly.
So
Pinnock, you're looking at Pinnock.
Yeah, that's why I say, even with that being said, even with him young, that's why I said the only person who looks like a true leader out there is Bobby Reed. Every time Bobby Reed comes
shower
on,
curtain. The point that I'm kind of driving at home, you know, Richard King is one of our home Jamaican talent, and every minute this coach taking Richard King off the field.
Yeah, I don't understand that at times.
Why,
Yeah, I don't
so
understand.
why can't make an adjustment with Richard King and put Richard King in the midfield sometime?
True.
Richard,
I honestly feel I'm a second to with what we had in the team. I honestly felt that if anybody was supposed to be tried in that midfield, right? I mean, we have seen Lati already. We have seen Low already, and we see where them bring, right?
We see Michael Hector.
Yeah. I think the better player we should have done that if we're going to use any defenders to play that CDM role, I think we should try King. King has more composure, passing range, and more better on the ball. I think he would have been a better choice as defenders to go there. But
if you notice, one point, Ricardo, if you notice, you know, Richard King is the only player like a Gabi Molito when Barcelona was transitioned into that tiki-taka game, when him bringing the ball forward out of the defense line, that give you that added strength into attack, you know. Richard King is the only person do that very well, you know.
I will agree with that.
Yeah, man. Even for Cavaliers too. Because
I will agree with that.
Yeah. Him play CDM sometimes for Cavaliers too, you know. And whenever I play for Cavaliers, that person him like for them on the ball, you know. And you see movement off the ball. It's like him literally want the ball as a defenders. And you want your defenders them to want the ball like that. See? But I think in the team, I think because him the junior defenders to the rest of them, I think that's why I'm kind of that energy the way I'm sure when him play for Cavaliers and just want the ball. I think him kind of temper it as Dan and the coach just say because him knew, you know, look up to a Pinnock.
Exactly.
But I think him have that ability, if given that chance, him have that ability to dictate and him can spread the ball and move the ball. I think him have that ability to do that. But as I say, he's not been given the chance, and I don't think, as I say, him still look up to the senior players. The man really wanted too much per se.
Yeah. One point, quote. I just feel like this season will teach us a lot about Richard King. This will be a very, very good season for him in the SPL. And I do feel like, I don't know, because if King is coming from Rudolph Speid, what coach have said is not very likely to be around the football in Jamaica as well. But I do feel that Richard King has something in him that as a defender, it's going to get better and his decisions will get better. And as soon as he starts to play football under better coaches and better coaching staff off the field that can help him with video sessions, look at his weakness, start to study, opponent attacking players. I know you're going to nullify them. Certain things Cavalier Football Club, they don't have at their disposal to enhance Richard King ability to the next level. And I think that over the last 2 seasons, Richard King have been stagnant because he have been playing and kept at Cavalier Football Club for, I think, probably 18 months, 24 months, too long. So now this is a time that after this season finish, we will see how Richard King really going to go about himself in the Scottish Premier League. But for now, I think him have something special, but it's going to take a coach that knows and have that next level of them what Rudolph Speid don't have as yet, yeah, who have the experience and they know about to know that look at Richard King. This player is something different and he can bring a lot to any club in the Scottish Premier League.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Ricardo, and one of the things you must remember, remember Richard King was playing under one of the best youth coach in Jamaica before him play under Speid, Richard King was playing under Lenny Hyde at Clarendon College, So don't take that development for a joke thing,
Yeah.
when he was playing under Lenny Hyde, When he was playing under Lenny Hyde at Clarendon College, he was playing at a high level in schoolboy football also,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Because
that's right.
Teacher Hyde is one of the best coach and should be in the national program, help him somewhere,
At
somehow.
the youth
Because,
level.
because I see them have some coach and this Jamaica Rasta right now. What is them claim to fame? The person want to call it's Reading man or
Yeah.
some
Yeah, man.
oh, how can those person be around the national team over certain coaches in Jamaica, like a Neville Burtis Bell, a Lenny Hyde, a Jerome Wade.
Yeah.
Even
Let's stick to Jerome Wade. Yeah, the Jerome Wade one baffled me. He took over from Jerome Wade as well. But I mean, you was going to say something. Show curtain, right?
Yeah, man. I think with the King thing that you were on, it's not no bias. It's the eye test. Is what the eye test show you, right?
Yeah.
King is not only we alone that see it. It must be a reason as to why he was here from Tapper with more time when in his younger days. Tapper obviously saw something in him. I think he got his first call up during Tapper time, and then after Tapper, then Paul kept him same way, right? And then
Yeah.
Hal himself kept him, and now this coach have him same way. So obviously the coaches them see something in a King. But as I say, I think King has been at this level for too long and he has shown long before now that he's bigger than this level. And it's like he's at the same level, so he's not moving to the next
Yeah.
level. So as I say, I concur with you that this next level with better talents, better opponents, better strikers who are more experienced, I will give him that next level thing to push himself, and
Yeah,
reach our
that
next
extra
level.
development. Cause
Yes.
because as I think Conrad was said in the comment that where we touch on the Mikel Antonio that nowadays healthcare, the medicine, everything that they treat in these players, it's just on a different level. But to drain any weather, the last thing I saw about Richard King, he joined the football club, but the last thing I got from a local newspaper in Scotland as well that covers St. Miriam that there's having a little bit of issue with his passport. I don't know if that solved as yet, so they said it's just some basic information that just needed and then he will find himself in Scotland. I don't know if he's in Scotland at this moment, but what I read in a few days about that, they have some little basic issue with his passport. But the team currently in Spain and preseason, and Richard King is not with the team as well. And the coach went on and said that they don't worry about him not being in the preseason team because he have played so many games over the last 4 weeks. So fitness is not the issue. The issue will be for King is how quick they're going to help him, to get mold into what they want, for him in the St. Miriam. And they will have 4 games that's coming up in the League Cup because in the Scottish Premiership, they have League Cup and they have their own Scottish FA Cup. So the League Cup will start first with some championship teams from Scotland and a League One team in their group. So again, there will be more favorable team that Richard King team will come up against in I think that will start this month, the 15th until the 21st, and after that, the Scottish Premiership will begin. So, I mean, a lot of hopes, high praises for Richard King. I do think this kid have something in him that he can serve the national team in the next 10 to 15 years. I want 10 to 15. Let's put it as 10. Yeah, I think he have something special in him to serve this national team in the next 10 years. And I do think that he have some leadership skills in him, but in order to enhance that, it's going to happen, game by game and playing at a high level overseas where he can actually bring back that experience to the national setup. You understand? So that's it, right there, Richard King, jury, of why maybe he's not in Scotland as yet, or why it not made, like, publicly. They announced the deal publicly, and that he's a St. Mirren player, but for him to join up with the team, it's not as if the team is in Spain while he's somewhere around the world having his time off. But yeah, Daniel, do you believe that this kid Richard King do have something special in him as a center half?
Yes, I do think he have qualities, and I do think he's a leader. I think he watching him in the Unity Cup, I saw he step up to take that penalty, and he looked very confident as a center back, playing in midfield as well, and to take up the ball and very much confident and score that goal. That showed me that this guy, he's a leader. You get what I'm saying, and his quality is always there. I always question the coach why the coach don't play him more over Labatador in the
Joel
midfield.
Latibodier.
Joel Latibodier, and even over Damian Lowe. I think his passing range is much better than most of the players that we have in the team. You get what I'm saying? But I just don't think the coach trusts him enough. I don't know why.
You think now transfer from Cavalier to the Scottish Premiership, this is his opportunity to play at a high level, show the coach that, look, I'm here to stay in this position.
Yeah, I think the coach might able to start trust him now, because the coach probably gonna look at it and see that, oh no, he's playing overseas, he's playing at a better level. You get what I'm saying? So and expecting him to start getting better as well. You get me? So I think his opportunity in the team. I think I can see him stamp his name down in the national team going forward. Once he's able to start playing consistent where he at now.
Yeah, I just want to say, know yourself. Yeah, the link is in the comment section. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. You said that, Nick, this mean King as his work cut out, and you said, Nick, smoke screen that Nick. I don't know what you're talking about, but I would love to hear your perspective and what I'm saying about Richard King or whatever topic we just touched on. But I mean, our comment to tell me what you think. What's your point that you're trying to make in the comment section? But Daniel, can you please drop the link again in the comment section, please?
No, I was gonna say this. I do realize there's this agenda against Jamaican players that play from Jamaica League. I do realize that we not me, but I'm talking like Jamaican football fans. They really don't give the players that play, because I was looking in the comments, and they were like, when coach was talking about King, and they make it seem like coach is bigging up King too much, like he doesn't have that much of quality. You get what I'm saying? So I tend to realize that Jamaica fans, they love the overseas players, but when it comes to Jamaican players that play in Jamaica, they don't give them no chance. You get what I'm saying?
They mark the local players much harder.
Dan, 1 second. Let me make this clear. I don't know Richard King, I don't know him from Adams, Yeah. I only watch him play for the national team, and I only watch him play in the Jamaica Premier League. So it's only what I see, I talk about with this kid. And I watch him a couple games in the schoolboy football. But I don't know him personally. I don't know him like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I someone Sham 6 question for both of you. How good is Richard King? What are his strengths and what are his weakness? I do believe that King, one of his strengths is aerially. Is very good aerially. What I saw in Jamaica, in the Jamaican Premier League, and I don't really see much of it. In the national team of clearance in the aerial position for the Reggae Boy team. And another thing, his passing range is very good as well. He has a very good passing range, and his composure on the football, and that's very good. Richard King is a modern day type of center half, which you're not going to get probably a lot of defending on the back foot, which I don't know if I'm making it in the right way. We can understand it, but 1v1 is not the best yet in terms of position awareness. Is position awareness is better than is 1v1. He lack a little bit of pace, but we're talking about reading the game. Him have that, but it's not to the level where it can carry him to the next level. He's going to have to develop a lot more stuff, and I don't think we are trying to understand that Richard King is a very young player in terms of defender standard. Probably look at a player like Ian Pepe Goodison had Richard King. He had probably Richard King exposed to a lot of stuff in his earlier days playing for Cavalier. You understand? No, Pepe Goodison is a very good, talented, centre back in his time. But when you're talking about more of a defender, it's not all about rugged and rough and diving to tackle. Defensive game is more than that. No, coaches are not really looking at that at this moment. It's more intelligent. And coach said, someone like, and you use a comparison with a Barcelona player of bringing out the football, how he progressed the football from, as a defender into the midfield and breaking lines. I don't think we trust him enough to do that role. And I think the defenders in this Reggae Boy team lack that as well, where I think Ethan Pinot do it sometime, but he tend to want to hold on to the football a little bit too long. And when he do get into the midfield at times, he passes square or he passes it behind. Meanwhile, Richard King is always looking for forward pass, more direct. And then a lot of people might say, oh, Deshaun, Mason Oldgate and those players, they are ahead of him. But you have to understand why those players are ahead of him. They came through a professional setup where they have coaches at when they're like 10, 12, UEFA Pro license coaching them. They have a cutout pathway for them. While Richard King probably at that age did a run up and down over Euroscope and does upfield playing for Alman Town. You get what I say? So there's a lot of things and why players can be ahead of him at this moment. But when you look at the trajectory and what he can do, Richard King can get to the level of how Deshaun Bernard played for Sheffield over the last couple of years. You understand? And he can get to the level and how Mason Oldgate have been playing in the championship, but it's going to take a longer time. It's going to take a process because on how he learned the game and how he came up through the ranks and who coached him at certain levels in his youth days, those players would have learned a lot of those attributes at a younger age. So Richard King, I know this is the time again, and he should get better under better coaching regime. And I'm happy that he finally came out of the Rudolph Speid hands. Now he can have somebody that, a team that believe in youngsters, believe, in young players that they're going to buy overseas and give them the opportunity. Know him have the platform. The squad will believe in him. The coach will believe in him. And, he will only need to stop himself if he's not going to progress to the next level. Shower curtain the boss. You want to roll in?
No, man, I agree. Same strength and weaknesses. I don't think he's the best 1v1 tackle, as you said. Right?
Yeah.
But as I said, it's good at reading the game. His passing range, his composure. You see the difference. You see the difference in his composure compared to the other defenders around him. Despite how senior they are and the better leagues they are playing. You see the difference in his composure. So definitely, me agree with what you said based on how you describe his strength and the weakness. I think it's 1v1 defending needs to get better. But I think, as I said, reaching going to the next level, you will get there. And as I said, I just said the football reach, remember me I tell you from before, say football evolve and football reaches, it takes IQ right now. Teams stop running and defenders stop running and try if you hard tackle like mad people and do them because something and get dashed. No, it's all about reading the game. It's all about reading the game and pushing you on your weak leg and knowing your strong leg, studying forwards. Now defenders study strikers and no one pushing you on your weak leg, right? Forcing you to actually square or to turn back the ball than just running and tackling and try to hurt you. And I think King have that raw talent in him in terms of reading the game. We just need to find him.
That's true.
These defenders. That's the thing they know a teamwork, know a work. I don't know. one defender try running for earth rate. It's all about teamwork and studying strikers and using your IQ, your common sense as a defender to force the striker to go on his weak foot, right?
Yeah.
And keep him off his strong foot as much as possible. And that's the football reacher now. So
Yeah.
him just need him just need to go to the higher level, as they said. I totally agree to get there, and him still young. And I think with better leagues and better coaching, you'll get there.
Yeah, coach.
Yeah, I totally agree with most of the stuff that you say about Richard, and Shower Curtain does reiterate the 1v1 situation. But probably I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Richard King is probably our Jamaican Van Dyke. Not comparing him to Van Dyke or anything, but Richard King would have be our Van Dyke in our terms.
Yeah.
We just have to be confident in him, help to build him, and I hope the bug don't hit Richard King right now, wherein Jamaican players when them go overseas, them
Yeah.
don't have the discipline and the mentality and the professionalism to stay into that system and work very hard and
Yeah.
keep up on that level
Yeah.
for a long period of time.
He do seems like someone that come. I never, spoke to him. I never seen like him, face to face and have a chat with him. But he do seems like someone that who will take responsibility, for his career, that will do anything to get to that next level. He have that professionalism about him.
I hope so. Because
Yeah.
if you can look at it, Ricardo, if a lot of Jamaican player, we can use one for instance. One of our most talented midfielder right now, in Tyrick McGee. Look at Tyrick McGee because him don't have the professionalism and him don't have the work ethic. That's why he is back at Veer relegating Veer to tier 2 football.
Yeah.
You understand? And we can go on and name a lot more players. Jamaican players need to make that a transition in terms of professionalism, work ethic, hard work, and discipline, and know what it takes to play at a high level for a long period. Until we get that and circumcise the kids them that is in Jamaica, Jamaica football will be stagnant for a long while. Because that is one of the things, is our lifestyle and our upbringing is beating us as Jamaicans, when we come abroad,
Yeah.
We don't have the work ethic and the discipline, and we might say we kind of speaking it very hard, but it's not. It's just truth. It's just the plain truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to move somewhere different now, but if you have something you want to say, Shower Curtain, you can say it from now.
Just say, coach, I kind of disagree, but I kind of disagree with the work ethics part. I think Jamaicans naturally, it's just a culture. I don't think we have a work hard attitude problem. We don't think we have that. It's just a culture. All right. If you notice, even overall, you have persons who don't really kill themselves for work here because of the structure and it's easy and life is nice and life, we just laid back. But that same person, if he goes overseas, right, you'll be surprised to know that same person will be doing some hard work where you never normally see him do. So I don't think it's the work ethic. I think it's the environment, right? I think of the environment. I think when a player starts to show local quality, we put them on a pedestal, and so because of the environment and the energy that them get, it seems like for most part a player would be more laid back as pertaining to working harder because of the environment. So I think environment structure.
Shower Curtain are two different things that we are talking about now. No, you are talking about a person who get the opportunity who are going to provide for him family now. We are talking about players who is young and get opportunity and who engrave it in our bad habits at early age and still don't have that work ethic to go overseas and work. And them have to come back at them yard. How much time we see how much Jamaican get opportunity as sports person, footballers go overseas and then them have to come back home. A lot of times. And these are something have to be taught from a very young age in terms of professionalism, work ethic, and what it takes for play at a high level for a long period.
Yeah, but I agree with that. I agree with the structure that it's bad. But what may I say? You have a player, all right. The work part of me here, you say, I think yes, boy, the players them no work hard or thing like that. I think it boils down to quality because you look at a Trevante Stewart, right? I think it's not work ethics make Trevante leave the club that Salernitana. I think it's just better quality players there who probably have the basics. Will probably do the basics them better than him. I don't think it's work ethics because him leave and him not come back to Jamaica. If they our next club and him might excel. So certainly him improve from when probably learn from that club there to the next club when gone. So I don't think it's really work ethics. I just think it's basically, as I said, the development part. I think the other players them at the clubs them far more developed than us. I don't think it's work ethics part. So that part that me I try make the difference with. I think it's just that the other players have the basics from an earlier stage, and so they will quicker take on to certain things than us who just have the raw talent and not have the basics. I just a point that me that try.
So the Salernitana thing with Trevante Stewart, it can be what you just said, and it can be different factors terms of. Remember when Jonah Flemings came on an A division and said, there's a lot of players came in Toulouse with higher price tag, higher quality coming from higher standard of country. They're going to get the nod over him. So looking at Salernitana, a team that was fighting for their life at that time in the Serie A, you think they're going to play a Trevante over, Candreva in the attacking third? I don't think that would happen. They would look at Candreva as a more experienced player, a more driven player that can get the job done. So sometimes it can be international standard, is transfer fee that he came in for as well. It's not the highest price tag. Probably 100,000 euros. It's not a lot for him to really make a claim. You understand? With his price tag.
But the point I try to make though, Nick, even with we have seen clubs that bought players for less. Yeah. And those players play because them players are naturally give what the coach want and bring out the results.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why many really boil it down to how much a player is bought for. You see, we watch PSG and we see how long Mbappe was there, right? And when Mbappe left, I mean, that's a less quality players there in terms of price quality, but look at the football.
But you can't bypass the JPL still. Getting into Serie A. That's a big jump. That a coach will be looking at.
That's what I said to you. I don't think it's the work hard part. It's just the quality. It's just the quality at the end of the day. Because you could have worked hard, but if you don't have the basics, bro, for really bring about the coach's instruction as best as possible, you can work so hard and no much more.
I do feel like that was a forced right move for Trevante. He didn't ready to go to that level. He did not ready. But that was a transfer that need to get done so he can get exposed to say, this is what it takes to play at Juventus versus Bonucci and these players. You understand? Definitely. So, I mean, look, he went to Serbia at a lower ranked team where he's a professional, he's an international player in that team where a lot of those players not playing for the national team. They were looking at Trevante like, this is a top lad. He's a top striker. It's coming from Salernitana. You understand? He just represent the national team versus Canada. So they were looking at that like, this is a top-notch player that coming in. And look, he scored double-digit goal in the Serbian Super League. And, you can't take that away.
Definitely. So obviously improved from Salernitana. And as coach said, I concur with him, said we don't know the basics of B2, as him said, the youth development part. In terms of the book part of the game. I think football reach a book part of the game, where kids have to learn them IQ from them young. If you can catch on faster to where the football there now, you see me?
Yeah.
And that's a beat you. We have the raw talent, but we not get the proper coaching and the proper knowledge of the game.
So we're talking about coach. I'm going to play the clip of what Speid said about modern coach, and after this takes, Daniel, I want you to jump in and give your takes on what 1 second, and give your takes on what the chairman for the committee board for the Reggae Boys.
What do you consider to be that modern coach?
Well, one of the things that we learn in the coaching sessions is that you're coaching modern kids. They are very savvy electronically. If you tell them anything and it's not true, they have their best friend Google or AI right there to make sure to know that it's not true. And if you start to tell them about trends, they can research it themselves. They are good at it. So a coach in this era needs to be able to do all of that and more. And one of the reasons why we keep the CPD and the coach license is that we needed to keep up to date with the modern trends, what is happening, because you could really get swept away behind, if you're not up to date. So a modern coach is somebody that not just understand coaching, but also understand who they are coaching and how do you get them to perform at their best. So it's kind of getting a little bit difficult to coach nowadays.
So you guys hear what Rudolph Speid have said. I just want to you to just zone in on what you think about. Did he drop the ball when he talked about he's going to hire Steve McLaren? Not just Steve McLaren, but hire a modern day coach. And we seen, allegedly we saw the report. They said, Alexander Scotia, him himself, I think was somebody like Sam Allardyce. But we seen all these old-fashioned coaches, who were rumored around the national team. Then boom, all of a sudden we saw Steve McLaren got appointed. Is this that he went the wrong way of not appointed a modern coach?
Yeah, I think he dropped the ball. He contradicting his whole statement. Anybody who watching this live right now and on the show right now believe that Steve McLaren is keeping up with modern day technology and modern day football? I don't. I 100% know Steve McLaren is not. I think Steve McLaren is still doing his same old way of coaching players. You get what I'm saying? And let's be honest, Steve McLaren doesn't even coach the players. He just manages the players.
Micromanage.
Yes. So Speid dropped the ball. You get what I'm saying? I think he hired the wrong coach. There was so many young coaches out there to go and hire. I don't think money is the problem. You get what I'm saying? So because I think Steve McLaren is getting well played good. So I think he just contradicted the whole thing. You get what I'm saying? So the iron was wrong. I think we got the wrong coach.
I know you have plenty of stuff to say on this in a shower curtain.
No, man, I already make my presentation and tell you how the federation go already from early. So I think me answer that question from earlier to me give the history.
Yeah.
At the federation and the coaches are way England coaches. Me give the history already. So it wrong from we out. 150% wrong.
Yeah. My thing on Steve McLaren that at this time I don't think Steve is a modern coach. The way and how he talk, the way I know he do his press conference, he's giving statements similar to what Sir Alex Ferguson would give back in his time and how you manage a squad. But this DNA of players, and Speid must know this as a true and true Jamaican, that Jamaican players, it doesn't matter if you probably live locally and abroad, we are some stubborn set of players that if you give these players a hinge and try to make these players be probably your best friend, they will go ahead and take advantage of your softness and your weakness. So this squad itself, these sets of players, they need somebody that's going to mold them. Once the coach say, yo, we are going to do A, without even questioning, knowing that, look, you're going to trust everything what this coach said, and the coach are going to have the balls to know that, look, if a player is not doing what I said you're supposed to do, you're going to find yourself out of the team. And stuff like that. It's type of a modern day things that you need to be competent to what is going on. And I don't think Steve is a coach that is doing a lot of data analysis around players. Just listen to his press conferences. When he first came in, he said that he worked with FIFA and he know a lot about the Jamaican setup. He know the quality that we have, the young players that we have, the depth of players that we have, in the diaspora that who still can play for the Reggae Boys. But then again, his press conference is telling us a different thing, that he's not living up to the data standard of where the football is going. Football, Speid have said it, like, it's AI business. I think you can use AI to scout you, to know how much shots, where's your weak point, what you don't do good in games. These stuff easy to break down with AI system. And I don't think he's using that way of modern technology and how to manage this squad. So I just think that what he said, to be honest, I do believe Speed at the time when he said, "Yo, he's going to hire a modern coach," but he disappointed me and it disappointed the fans that you went for an OLED when he came and said you're going to hire a modern coach, and it didn't happen. Steve isn't a modern coach. Look at his resume.
I'm a jump in. I think the main reason why probably he got Steve McLaren is just maybe the connection with the England players, based players. I think the England players them know Steve McLaren, and they probably more respect him as well. So I think maybe that's where the opportunity came in, where Jamaica saw that and saying, "Oh, I think that may be a good idea to hire Steve McLaren, so he can able to bring those players from over England come here." But I don't see no other logic behind it. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only reason why we went for Steve McCarthy.
And I do 100% agree with you that they really bring this man in to bridge the gap between the UK born players to come and represent the national team. And when you do that as a national team, you're going to spell danger. And these are the troubles we are in at this moment, that you bring in a man to bridge the gap, with heritage players to the squad, and he's not even bringing in the quality players that we expect him to bring in as well. Where are those players? We saw the Isaac Hayden, look, that was in the pipeline, but you have to give him probably a little bit of credit. Oh, he probably put in what he need for put in and talk and try to influence the player as well. He used to coach him as well. The Mason Oldgate came in. So I don't know, man, if we are doing the right thing as recruiters in the JFF, that we are looking at the right people for the right job, because you cannot bring in a coach to bridge a gap. You have to make sure that you bring a national coach that will get the best out of the players and bring a system of him own, or he's going to follow what is on plan with the Jamaican Football Federation. And I don't think our federation have a plan for our national team. And Steve isn't doing that. He's such an old school fella. What he said, hard work, you don't need chemistry. Nowadays, listen, this is one of the things Sir Alex Ferguson did. He realized that when Jose Mourinho came in at Chelsea, Jose Mourinho changed the whole entire game and how people look at football during that time. Sir Alex Ferguson started to look, I cannot play 4-4-2 anymore in the English Premier League, in the Champions League. I have to go 4-3-3. I have to go something different with these new modern coach. And at that time, it was an influx of managers that was coming to. Frank Rijkaard was one of them. Pep Guardiola was one of them. You understand? So at that time, even an old school fella like, Alex Ferguson have to adapt to the new system. And I don't think at this time, Steve McLaren adapting to the new system and the new waves of how these managers are managing the national team in around the CONCACAF region. Luis Tenya, he's bringing in something different. My friend that cover, the Central American national teams told me that, look, Luis Tenya developed a different method of how he's going to get the best of these local players in Guatemala, knowing that these players in Guatemala, they are not up to the standard and the quality of the other region, including the Reggae Boy team and what he did. He bring a different plan. He brought in something new and how he's going to modernize the Guatemalan team. Thomas Christiansen, it was a different plan. He formed a structure. He stayed in Panama. He developed that national team. He molded. You get what I say? If you look around, it's just different. But Steve is not giving us that.
Yeah, and I do, and I do think when the players that play at the highest level, especially in Europe, and they come to Jamaica and see the tools they're using and what they have to work with, I feel like deep down they don't respect it. You get what I'm saying? So I think they probably come and look and like, at this where we really are work with. You get what I'm saying? So don't forget, don't underestimate what these the tool and everything what players have to work with, because they feel like maybe this never really gonna push us to a level where we can perform to the best ability. You get what I'm saying? So don't underestimate the tools that they need. Because remember, Cristiano Ronaldo went back to United and could not believe that they were still using the same equipment them
And who
from
was there?
when
Who was there?
yes
Steve McLaren.
from when he was there. And look how Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world right now. Look where they finished last season. So never you underestimate the tools that you have to use to perform on the field. So maybe some of these players, when they go to Jamaica and see what they have to work with, they just don't respect it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
This guy is a
Um,
genius. Hey, that brother is a genius, you know, man.
Oh.
I would have get a brilliant point from. Hey, Dan, I want to get a point. Hey, you know, something you nobody touch upon this. I'm myself here too. I think the point is a very important point, because if you watch all the players them play for real, it kind of spells, you know, something. And hearing Dan just bring up that point, it just kind of I give you an extra thing to probably think about, you know, another thing to think about, because
They look point as a joking this.
when I watch the Mexico game, when I watch the other teams them play, right? You're talking about the big guns. Them. I watch even Guatemala. When you watch them team they play, you see the fight with them team they fight like literally. Listen, me I watch Mexico match today, bro, and Gallardo running a ball. Him name Gallardo, same name running a ball.
Yeah,
the
the
left
left
winger running a ball.
Yeah.
In a US box. And I think the guy named Freeman, that is the right back.
The right back, right back.
The man,
Freeman.
him track him down and literally kick the ball for him and nearly kick off him face. And the way Gallardo run another ball, I'm straight in Gallardo face kick off, you know. And I'm saying, I'm watch Jamaica team. I see how player them literally a fight. I show them fight there and I run them tackle like them literally a fight for the country. So maybe that one of the thing too. And I think Bailey made a statement earlier on that when if him injury right now is in club literally that's when the thing that happen with him. Him say, you know, if he kill up himself and him injure at the end of the day, him club want make him money. And if him injure
Representing Jamaica ain't gonna make Real Madrid want me.
Sure, you understand, and it makes sense when Dan make up that make the point there a while ago. It hit a nail. Because if a player know that hey, if me injure right now and kill up myself, yeah, I really want to play the hard. But with these equipments that I'm seeing, with this infrastructure, with this unprofessionalism, bro, should I really come to kill up myself like that and literally put him all and then get injured and then my career is just gone like that?
And I do have this say too. I believe
coach, after Daniel.
I believe, do we honestly believe that these players believe that Jamaica can make it to the World Cup? I don't think they do. I don't think they actually feel it. They actually believe it, that we can make it to the World Cup. So when they come here and play, they give half-hearted performance. Don't want to get injured, not going, just like Shorkan say, not going into challenge 100%. Because they might get injured and that might jeopardize their club career. So we have to understand that the mentality with these players, I've seen how Jamaica have been feeling over the years. They might not believe that we can make it to the World Cup. So they're not going to really give 100%. That's my thing.
Coach, you want to zone in?
Yeah, it have two ways to it, you know, Dan. Because yes, they probably can think that way because of this current squad now. But if you look at our 98 squad that qualified for the World Cup, look how much Jamaican base player was around that team who is strong-headed, like a Pepe Goodison, Shorty Malcolm, and a lot more local players. So when them come into the program, these local players, not in any laughing thing with them. These local players make them know when them have slip up. But which local player in the team now we can say can step up to one of the foreigners them and make them know, say, listen, it's not a joke thing, you know. We are playing for the next kids' future in our country, you know. Yeah. For them to look up to us.
But they are not even doing it as example, so who's going to follow?
Exactly. Yeah. Because Leon Bailey not doing it.
Yeah. But here this coach. enough of these players that's coming overseas, they don't feel like they have anything to prove. But you know what happened in
I don't
19
think so. You know that cause even the parallel that you draw, say them when they come to the country and but the facilities and stuff with them with the see and stuff. I don't think so. It's not that. I don't think that is the problem because them know that Jamaica is a third world country and them know that Jamaica is a poor country before them even think of coming here. Cause
yeah,
even Ethan Pino, Bobby Reed, those players play with them heart when them play sometime, man.
Even the
yeah.
own Joe Lattibody played with his art on his sleeve as well.
Yeah. All right. You see the guy that score what's his name? That
Barrel.
scored that scored the header
Borrell.
the other day, the Platter Pier one.
Is it Borrell?
No.
What?
The
Oh,
two.
Rich Amarbel. Amarbel.
No,
Marvel.
no, not Amar Rebel. He play in the midfield and he play on Leon Bailey's side.
Oh, Jonathan Russell.
Jonathan Russell. If you
Yeah.
notice, Jonathan Russell start to take on to Leon Bailey bad attitude, and playing like a friend ball over there, so now with Leon Bailey. Not saying they mustn't build up a chemistry. But to how Leon Bailey is playing, Leon Bailey is not one you're supposed to want to lick head with emulate.
But
No,
that's
seriously. To how I'm playing with the national team, him is not the one you want to lick head with and link up with. Leon Bailey not playing one thing for the national team.
yeah.
So every time you must be on top of him, for him improve him game. You're not supposed to lick head with him and drop your game too. Because the first couple of games when Leon Bailey didn't play in the Nation Cup, him play
The
well.
yeah.
Him play well with Ronaldo Cephas them, and then come in the Gold Cup, him game drop
Yeah.
when him playing on Leon Bailey's side, right there, so.
So we have a virus.
Maybe it's just the work rate.
We have a virus in the team because I watched a video of Liam Bailey saying that the camp is Liam, no vibes are dead. You get what I'm saying? So
What that's supposed to mean?
meaning that basically there's a clan in the camp, meaning that there's groups of players that feel a certain type of way and playing a certain type of ball game in the camp, and then there's a other set probably serious about the thing.
Yeah, and
You get
probably two the man them don't want to go party and go gallivant with them and bleach at night time, cause you have a set of persons want to do that.
Yeah, maybe the camp is just more professional where certain things is just not loose around the camp anymore than how maybe it was a little bit previous and a different coaching regime.
Exactly, Nick. Exactly.
So maybe because of that, the players that him really used to in the team, but then they are not in around anymore. Where all right. So I don't know. I've said this many times of where in Missouri when we lost 4. When you look at the players that been playing during that time for the last couple of years, especially the Jamaican born players that playing overseas, the attitude on their face and the morals within that group of players compared to the Bobby Reed, the Daniel Johnston at that time, those players were upset that we got beaten badly. You understand? While other sets of group of players were just going around. Like there's nothing that we just got 4-2 in our game. We lost the game 5-2. So sometimes certain players within the camp that their attitude it's not the right tone. So that's why you're going to have people who been through what happened in the 98 campaign of look, the local lads set the tone for Fitzroy Simpson, Robbie Earl, Dean Burton to come in like, yo, there's a high standard and you have to match up with it.
Exactly.
So
that is my point, Nicardo.
the experienced lads now around it, the national team, I think some of them scared to say stuff to certain players who are doing wrongdoing and players that continue to heed unprofessional where they're eating just hours before the game, eating, body fat food, which is not good for the body, to process and to break down, for the next match day. So stuff like that happen. And again, you will see, the professional players that play at a high level, they eat properly, especially after a game around the camp, where our players, they don't even doing the usual thing, that get good food, get the body recover, and players again, they more tend to go out after camps and stuff like that. While the players that playing in the League One and Championship, those players, all they want to do is to go to their room and rest so they can catch their flight and get back to England, because there's going to be match day coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've seen it where players said that they have a crucial game. Yeah. And I'm going to say this. There's a player came to Daniel Johnson at the time. The team was overseas. And the player said, yo, where you on? Don't so me I touch no. DJ said like, yo, I have a game coming up on the weekend. I have to go up, go rest, catch my flight early morning. You understand? And Bobby Reed at the same thing, like, but DJ say, yo, Dexter, a movement, me I go upstairs, Meanwhile, the rest of man them, they're around and Galvans, like, it's not a national duty. So there's a lot of stuff that if you're exposed to certain things, like if you go to away games, please just go to the hotel room if it's available. Not hotel room, but where those players will hang out and stuff. You will see some different stuff at times. You understand? And I'm hoping that things got a little bit better, over the last couple of match days away, which I haven't been to, but like in the past, like not too long ago, just under Coach Al Grimson, a lot of these stuff happened. Yeah. Even Antonio came out and said, hey, I think the hotel rooms are a little bit better. So, I mean, they give CONCACAF a lot of credit for that as well. So, hopefully, now, where Red Cup man, I say, yo, there's not a lot of vibes. So, hopefully, these are the stuff that happening at this moment, where a lot of the players just focusing on recovery, thinking about the game. There's nothing needs to happen outside of the hotel that you need to go. You understand? And I don't think that a player that comes on international duty should get a day for themselves. This is for international duty. This is a camp. You understand? I don't want to hear people get DR, brother. This is international duty, brother. We have like 7 days to to galvanize our team chemistry together and a plan.
But here is Nick. It's in our culture. We have to party.
But you have certain players that try to attempt certain heritage players of like, yo, wait upon. You get what I say? Meanwhile, the man them I try to catch back a flight to go back to England. But what may I say is that hopefully these are the stuff that only happen and stop where Al Green to stop coach a team, and hopefully I wish the best that these stuff are not happening anymore within the space of McLaren and with the new crops of young players that's coming in, because these stuffs are not good for the eyes of Kaheem Dixon.
Yeah, I think so.
You get what I saying, Daniel? So these are the stuff are not good. When Kaheem, say, hypothetical speaking, like when Kaheem see a player like, say, Mikel Antonio, I do some things that he might go look for him like, if him can do that and get with it and still play for West Ham and still be West Ham, one of West Ham leading goal scorer in the Premier League, why me can't do the same thing and get with it? So that's not good. And you don't know the level of consciousness around different young players. Certain young players, their impulse riding them very high. Meanwhile, certain young players, they're very, very mature. So you have to be careful as a mature player, an experienced player, when you have young players around you. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson do not expose young players among certain, some demons attitude around his club team, because it can easily rub off on a lot of those young players, and it's not good. It happened to me. You understand? It happened to me. Like, go Boyz Town and train every day at College Smith Drive. I've seen what Aribola done each and every day. And me think me could have get with it as well. You get what I say? Me get put in a shell because guess what? At the time, I have leaders that look, don't do that. Don't even try to do that. That's his attitude. Leave him alone. You need to focus on your development. So until I think these are some of the stuff that keep happening where we have a coaching problem, we have a player problem, we have an admin problem, and we have leadership problem. Leadership is one of the biggest problems in terms of outside of football in our country at this moment. We lack some real leaders around. Every time when real leaders come around, what they did is put that leader in their color, and that leader might get corrupt and start to do what the others started doing over the last couple of years. So leaders in the national team, it's very important. And I think as a man like Damian Lowe, it doesn't just go to one set of players. It should go to all. Your energy should go to all, knowing that, look, what you bring to the table, you've been there as a youth and see your father go through it as a youngster and grow up. Your energy of talking to other players should go to all, not one set of players. You must have strength for every players in that team.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand? So,
Nick, can I ask you a question? What about Whisper? Because he's one of my favorite players, you know.
All right.
Coach, I was gonna say something about Whisper, and I was gonna ask you for your take on Whisper. And I know you bring up lifestyle and you preach about lifestyle and culture and how you bring yourself as a footballer. You get what I'm saying? And Whisper is at a level where he could be one of Jamaica best player ever, but I don't know what's going on with him right now. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I do keep up with Chelsea a lot, and I have hear no news about Whisper. What's going on? What's his time frame to come back? But as far as him knowing that he's not playing right now, or we don't know when he's coming back, how do you think he as far as him bringing himself off the field currently and not playing, like what do you recommend for him going forward with his career?
All right. Knowing that Whisper come through the schoolboy system, Whisper is one of my favorite player in the national team, despite him come out Craig camp. And when Whisper was in that national team, the little games that he got, he was performing 150% better than Leon Bailey. And when Leon Bailey come into the squad and even start to playing with Whisper, Leon Bailey behave as if he want to cow down Whisper and tell Whisper to give him every ball, which it shouldn't have been so. Because remember, you know, the two of them on two separate parts, you know, to be on them career, you know. The two of them want to be a professional. And at the same time, Leon Bailey have his career and Leon Bailey was shining overseas at that time. Whisper want to shine also. So Whisper must, I don't say must disrespect him. That's not what I'm saying. But Whisper often knows that, listen, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And a lot of hard work and discipline have to come in effect. So I'm going to do it my way. My way and my way only. You understand? But Whisper sometimes seems like him get caught up in him respect Leon too much. You understand? And
but
some
you can't blame him for that because you know Leon Bailey is a godfather of Phoenix as a player. So
yeah.
that instilling him, you know, Craig, you as a person know that Craig instilled that in every young player that look at Leon is a pioneer.
No, nobody not say he must admire what Leon do and where Leon reach. But you know, it's not every attitude where Leon have to take on. Why him don't take on a Cristiano Ronaldo attitude, the work ethic of a Cristiano Ronaldo, and the discipline of a Cristiano Ronaldo? Why most of these players don't take on to that type of attitude? And I hear Dan say something about it's our culture, and that is one of the things that messing up most of these young players. And you see the stage that Leon reached right now. It going to be hard for Leon come back, because Leon is so comfortable. It going to be hard for him to come back and perform at a high level.
Yeah.
If him do it, it's gonna be me have a kudos to him.
Yeah.
Me have to lift my hat to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say
So
something. DNA, we don't have DNA. We don't have no agenda over here. We don't have a call up. You must say coach China, coach I beat Liam Bailey all the time. I see my comment in the comment section. We don't have no agenda over here, my G. You just
No
have
man, no man. But we want Leon for performing. We love Leon and want him for perform for the national team too.
And that's the thing with Jamaican fans. They do think that we have an agenda against, we have a vendetta. We want this guy to perform, because if he perform, that means that Jamaica is going to win, right?
Exactly, and the team are gonna do well, and it are gonna benefit all of the kids back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not like say we don't want him to perform. We are beating because he's not performing. You get me? Yeah.
Yeah. So what may I say still with Whisper? I've seen that the Chelsea, the U team, is back for preseason, and certain names were on that list, but I didn't see Whisper on that list as yet. I don't know what is really going on. It's very quiet around Chelsea with Dujuan Whisper Richards. But there's another thing as well. Just as how we are as fans out here, we're eager to see those Whisper back on the pitch. The Chelsea fans, they're eager to see him back on the pitch. They want to see what Dujuan Whisper can make, because there's a lot of talkings that this player will be the next big thing, for the academy and to move on as well. You understand? So the youth academy, certain players, got listed in a squad that these players are back from, vacation. They're back for preseason, and I didn't see, Whisper name amongst those names as well. So, I mean, hopefully he's there. Hopefully somewhere in London as well, rehabilitating as well as getting stronger and stronger. So I mean, until now, we just can keep our fingers crossed and just hope that Dujuan will return, because I watch the 16-year-old kid for the Mexican team, and Dujuan was like that for our World Cup team back in 2023 as well. He was that
Yeah.
young player. You understand? And just unfortunate that he just got that weird injury that just kept him out for such a long time. And coach, if you look at it, there's so many youth academies players got played in Chelsea Conference League team. Whisper better than a lot of those players that play and got opportunities in the attacking third. So I just think that, it's just one of them moments they just have to just put it away and just have no say, have to just bounce back and just come back stronger. But again, the work ethic off the pitch, I'm just hoping that this young player is doing it. Yeah, he seems like a player that want to have his entertainment lifestyle, but when it comes on to the training, he seems like a player that will put in the work. But hopefully that type of attitude don't drop to where it's going to be bad for his career, which I think it's not going to be, because he's nowhere near to be a Chelsea player at this moment. So until now, hopefully Whisper will be back sometime in the next coming months, even probably before the season start for the academy, or what will be, because this season probably will be a nice good season for the Whisper, going
Yeah.
out on loan, because look, it's going to be difficult for Whisper to get in this Chelsea team. Look, you see Joy Felix signed last season. Now we're seeing Pedro, we're seeing so many, Delap, these players, coming through. They buying players left, right, and center. What Dujuan have to do is Dujuan have to use the Chelsea platform, because it's a huge platform, to elevate and get out of the club there. If him can get into the squad, Daniel, that would be great. But he have to use the Chelsea platform and the loan system and whatever development they have and get out.
No, I disagree. I think if he's good enough, he can make it at Chelsea. I think the
And I think
pathway-
Whisper, and
Go
I think
ahead.
Whisper is good enough.
I think if he,
I think Whisper is good enough.
because I think the new recruitment and the new philosophy at Chelsea is youths. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think if Whisper is good enough, I think they will given the opportunity. And I always stress this to you every time when we talk about Whisper. I always say the best thing for Whisper is Joe Shield. Joe Shield is the main person who signed Whisper. And once Joe Shields come and sign Whisper, I think Whisper have the pathway. It's just my main problem with Whisper is he gonna be focused? Is he gonna be disciplined off the field? And
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think he have the talent, as coach said. I think he have the talent, but is he gonna stay focused?
Yeah. 1 second. Show curtain, you still there, bud? Show curtain, the boss look like him gone.
Yeah,
so,
man,
but-
me there, bro, man.
All right. We'll get to you right now because I like fear your takes, not on the Whisper, but we're going to get into a different segment. Yeah, man. I want to get your takes on this as well, Daniel, and this is the last point as well for coach, but this is what I want to talk about.
One more before Donald takes over. If the coaching system in Jamaica is so good, why do we go outside for our Reggae boys coach?
Good question. That's the best question. So we from a technical point, looking at some issues. One, we have we have our coach Pearson doing the under 14 period, the under 15. We had a US coach doing the under 17, Swedish coach doing the under 20, and then we have an English coach doing the senior team. We believe is a problem because that identity is not locked in anywhere in that hierarchy of coaches. So this is one of the reasons why we're forcing ourselves, and also using regulations to guide the development to ensure that one day soon, all the coaches will come from one place. In that way, you can sit down and have a style of play that everybody will agree on, and we can move forward as a country.
How many participants taking part in the A license coach course right now?
It should be 20. It hasn't started. It's going to start in August. It should be 20, but it looks like we might have to go to 24. There's a lot of demand now.
Oh, there's a lot of interest.
Yes, people from even USA. It's not just Jamaicans trying to do the course.
Any trainees?
Daniel, I want to zone in because I see a lot of green on your face. Do we take a plethora of local coaches to be on a staff to get a system together?
What are we waiting on to give these coaches the opportunity? Because I understand he say it's gonna take time, but I feel like we should have done this before. But I don't think all the coaches coming from Jamaica should make we have a style of play. You get me? I think that recruitment, that philosophy should come from the board. So any coach that they do go for, they should already tell the coach or not. They should already identify the coach the way or he wants to, or they want to play.
Yeah,
and
the model of the national team.
Yes, so or they want to develop their players. Just like our Spain, perfect example. Spain will never go for a Jose Mourinho. You get what I'm saying? They will never go for a Jose Mourinho. So Speed is talking a lot of no sense. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like we come so far as a nation. Why we still not hiring Jamaican coaches then? Why is it taking so long?
Because they took way too long to follow a coaching model where we can develop coaches to be competent to the international standard. You understand? So because of that as well. So because for so many years, our coaching pool is like a pickup thing.
Yeah.
So even when we did a play as youths, probably the highest coaches license back then as a coach in the Premier League, probably CRD, probably close my eye and say that.
So you have to have
No, I'm just saying the level was low.
No, but my thing is you have to have an A license to coach a national team.
Yeah, that's where it's going right now.
Okay.
I think probably a C or a B license to coach in a Jamaican Premier League. But imagine 15 years ago, the level was low. You understand? We know why Tapa Whitmore got the job because he's a legend.
Yeah.
Just give him opportunity. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
former player. You understand? Over different region of the world, former player do get a little bit of bias treatment. You understand?
No, Ricardo, let me interject right there. That is not why Theodore get the national team, because him playing at the World Cup, him score 2 goals in at the World Cup to him, and I think him get some other accreditation
Yeah,
at the level where him play, because that is an high level,
yeah.
compared to the rest of person where they in our country. Yeah, because Theodore did have a lot for offer at that level at that time. The truth be told.
Yeah, with his player experience, and that is a lot as well for
No,
a player that played in the
no,
past.
and not only that, I think he actually go on some courses with
Yeah.
the CONCACAF board and stuff.
So
So
that's why I said maybe in the Jamaican Premier League, the coaching level probably was a way lower standard than where it was. So now we have to give people that who's actually trying to educate the coaches on a higher platform and a higher level to expose them, because the Central American teams and the clubs, those coaches would have exposed at a higher level than our coaches as well coaching in the Jamaican Premier League. So now this is happening. Maybe hopefully the next 10 to 15 years, we can have at least one coach that we can say, all right, then a coach who in the system is at that level, expose, but not just give these coaches education, because education and give them the higher coaching, but it's just not going to fit the tool.
yeah,
You're going to have to get them out, give them internships to different clubs. We seen this happen with other
but
clubs overall.
Nick, I want to tell you now. You see, Mr. Speed is talking this and talking that. Why probably them have to do this now, because it's modern time, it's technology time, information is out there, and people can learn even from AI and learn a lot of things and educate themselves without even going to those coaching school with them experience and knowledge. Because back in the days, in my time, they used to hide coaching courses from Jamaican coach. No disrespect. Enough of them that you hear talking about coaching school and coaching this and coaching that. Enough of them used to hide coaching courses from coaches. It's when Boris Johnson, Gregory Hall, and Paul Banton, may his soul rest in peace, from Global Soccer Ministry, start to carry coaching courses come to Jamaica. That is when JFF see it fit to start educate coaches. When them come to the first coaching course with the GSM Football Association with Boris Johnson, and them say over 170 coach, but them say they look at themselves and say, wow, but this is a money making venture. We can actually make some money from this. And so them implement the coaching school up by UTech. And that is how it all started. So Speed don't even give credit to Boris Johnson and a couple other persons will start to bring coaching. Even Andre Virtue with the Valencia,
Yeah, I
True
think he was
Purity.
one of the highest. I think he had a
Yeah.
job in CONCACAF. He
Yeah,
was saying, yeah.
Andre Virtue is one of the first person even start to bring coaching courses come to Jamaica too. Enough of them used to hide information from Jamaican coaches. All you hear them attack, and them know so we know all of these things.
Yeah.
I heard a story about this, but I didn't really get on top of
Ricardo,
that.
I'm telling you, I witnessed it firsthand.
No, I know the struggle, and I know your journey of what you've been through and what happened in the past. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Sure, Curtin. For the most part, you want to zone in on this.
Yeah, but just that listen, I concur with everything you want to say.
Daniel.
You hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think what Speed says make any sense.
Yeah.
When you have a system, right? A country that has a system, I think you hire coaches, as Daniel said, based on your strengths are. So if you know your strength is speed and you know whatever else it is, maybe it's speed and skill, speed and skill like us, right? You want
Yeah.
to hire a coach with the know-how, the international experience, with the know-how, who is up to date with modern day football, who can bring about a system based on the quality we have, right, with the modern day football. So if you hire coaches like that for the different levels, I think the coaches will be on the same level. It doesn't have to be local. I mean, it would be good to have locals if they are qualified. You know, that would be really good if they are qualified and have international experience, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't need to wait 15, 16, 17, 18 years for do that, right? All you do, you look and what you know, the quality you have, what we are good at, which is speed and I think flair, right? And
Exactly.
try to get the international coach who can bring that out, bring about the best, bring out that the best in our youths, and have a system of coaches like that from the senior program to the youth program, who are on the same page. These coaches are on the same page, and then we start develop a system going up, and then you can have players matriculating from the under 17 to the under 15. I mean, the best that is who show the quality if it move to the next stage, and you can have players from under 20 who gradually and move up to the senior team. And this doesn't mean only local base, but also diasporan, because you're going to have a mix, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I do think that development we are struggling because, all right, so Speed, whoever they said, got this newly medication thing going for the coaches. Kudos for that. Respect for that as well. We need that as well in the system. But one thing I really want to see, I would love to see we kind of get a financial backing, find it somewhere that our youth 15, our youth 17, our youth 20 team is getting games in actually every international window, where it will help these young kids and expose a lot of high quality coach down in that level, where kids at 12 to 15 are even way beyond that. It's easier to get your information across to those kids and develop them to be a better professional player than previous players. So until if we're not getting that right and not getting proper coaching down in that level, again, we're going to be scratching our heads on why, we keep failing. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if these easier pathway for the under 17 team to qualify for a World Cup, that we even make it probably to one of them out of the next 5 because of not proper development, not the proper coaching standard down on that level. And not just to pick a team and say, yo, in 3 weeks time there will be a tournament, let's galvanize a team, let's pick up a team, let's pick some group of youths around, in Jamaica, in the diaspora, come and train for the next 3 weeks. That's just not going to work, because the bigger teams around, yes, they might have a better financial backing, but these are the things that they may put in place that these younger teams continue to play. Because when you look at federations around and national teams around the world, you have young players that coming up through from the youth 15, at least 2-3 of them find themselves together in the national team. Our team, we don't have that. We fail in that department by just doing a pickup squad, going to World Cup qualifier. That youth 17 team had a very good, decent preparation with Freddie Butler. But, we know what's happened within the space of Freddie Butler, why that team failed. Just like Speed touch on something and why they really started this coaching course and really start to get this to a next level. And when the team failed in the Olympic, when we have Dominica, St. Kitts, and Jamaica, Guyana didn't turn up in that tournament for some reason. But the 3 teams them play over Arnett Garden I will feel to manage to get out of that zone to go to the next level for that Olympic qualifier. You understand? So if it gonna take that is a big embarrassment at the time. And it was a lot of issues with terms of selection. I don't know why. It's like every level at this national team, there's always selection issues. There's always some story come out of the Monday. You understand? It's always the Monday in a somebody ears. But again, me give kudos to everybody that who started this at first and who's progressing it and enhancing more on it and getting it up to a different level. But again, hopefully they are not doing this for a money making, because these stuff can be like a football trial where a club can say, hey, me have a football trial, let's set up this application, and it will cost you probably 50 US, 100 US, and it's just money making to help finance the club. So I'm just hoping that this isn't for that reason why these sets of coach are doing this for, because of it have a big financial backing behind of it, and their coaching course might be a little bit lesser than the American coaching license, where it probably can cost you probably over 30,000 to get the American A license
And
in their regime.
Nick, the truth be told, any coaching education is a plus for the nation and the development of the football, So it's a plus any way you take it,
Yeah.
But it have to take something drastic and something something.
You remember that team, right? That field.
Yeah, of course.
I think Niku DLA did on that team. Jamaica Topi, I think all of those big name players
all of them
on that team.
did that.
You understand? I think Kevin Lambert was in that team as well. So if it takes that for us to get to revamp and realize that, look, this need to stop. All right, we turn the corner. Hopefully, we can get the coach the proper education, but Speid education isn't all. You're going to need something to enhance that to a further details.
Yeah.
You see, I think experience on the grass is a different thing.
True.
Experience on the grass is a different thing. Get a youth up a champion or a girl up a immaculate to come in and get to hardcore Whitfield, Jungle, Rima, to study the college or down the street side college, them feel. But guess what? And them have the Cape and them have the CXC. Meanwhile, you have some other local relatives that, in the ghetto, just as educated as them, but don't have it on paper, better than them in different life aspect of standard. So if the coach have that experience and exposure to higher level, in terms of internship, he not gonna reach the level we want him to reach, as less the coach there I gotta do some real underground level of training. So
but take for instance, even one of the coaches where I lead the coaches education, when he just start out, him feel a certain part in a coaching career.
Yeah.
At JC and at UA.
So I mean, everybody I go feel coach at times. Sometimes, maybe Rudolph Speid feel to learn. And I mean, this is the thing I can't understand is Rudolph Speid, we respect him work, but you have things where you need to get questioned about. But Speid is a man that know the football in terms of the laws and the rules and everything. And
no, definitely.
The groundwork. Yeah, he know that. This is why I don't know if because of me, all him at a high regard of, look, Speid is a man that educated about the game. He educated himself about the game. So when we look on a man like Speid, I get things really right at Cavalier over the years. Been through, again, you said, because of certain field course, but remember Speid got relegated with Cavalier. In learn and go through that process, in bounce back, in bring Messi come Jamaica, in win the Caribbean Cup as a young coach coming up, one of the brightest young coaches in the region. But I think he still needs more. But
all right, Ricardo, for tell the truth, you see, me think says Speid can qualify the team for World Cup more than even the coach where I'm higher,
So this are the all right, yeah, man. Yeah, me that agree with you. I know McLaren is performing at this moment. I do feel like Speed is a brilliant mind around the football. And
Brilliant.
I just want them to do the right things, not for opportunities and what they can get
Yeah.
from that. You get me? I say, because Speed as a man who is the chairman for the committee, yeah, him recruit everybody forward in for the national team, youth team, everything. Why we still can't get that balance, a system that I got maintain the national team until we reach that level. I do think that there's a level of balance can get in the national teams of a system. I do believe that we can have it. And I do think Speed, as a man who know the football inside out, can get it done. So that's why when him do certain things and make certain decisions, I really punch him hard on them ribs. That look, bro, this need to stop. But until Speed, I go drop certain ego. I mean, everybody have ego, but put the country first. Put the country first. I know that you're doing this for the growth, not for the growth of opportunities and what you can get from it. And I'm not saying Speed is doing that, but I'm just hoping that these are the stuff that needs to done, and hope is not doing that as well. Because Speed is a man can help to get the football rolling in Jamaica and have it on a standard where a different brilliant mind can come in and enhance on that. But why is he not doing it? He done it for Cavalier. You have seen the hard work that he have put in for Cavalier Football Club. That time, bread and butter. We have seen the hard work him take for build an academy team for Cavalier. So he can get youths and youths each year to come and play for a national team, the Jamaican Premier League team.
The truth be told, is just how Speed get into that position in terms of ask him for assist the national program in the first instant,
Yeah.
You understand? Remember, say Cavaliers are Speed thing, and baby that, Yeah. So him I go put most of him energy right there, so you can't fight him for that.
No, I'm not fighting for that. And I'm not fighting for that. But at least me think Speed can do a better job. Me think Speed can do a better job. Me know Speed say, look, it's a preparation for youth team for go to World Cup, and not just 4 weeks or 3 weeks. It take more than that.
Yeah.
It take more than that, coach. Me know it know that. Because it not just take from playing Cassava Super League to reach where they're right now.
But I think him anti to Nicardo, because I listened Speed upon an interview with Oral Tracy the other morning talking about the coach, if the coach is going to get dismissed or not, And some some things where Speed has in that interview there make me think say him not fully pleased with where the coach do and the style where the coach play and how him deliver everything with the national program,
Yeah.
But him not come out right and say it.
Hopefully it's just not stuff for the fans to hear if it's all right, then he's thinking or doing the right thing. You understand? But all right, this is what happened after Argentina feel miserable in their local continental tournament, the Copa America, when Chile hit them very hard. You remember that time with George Sampoli?
Yes.
Argentina went for Lionel Scaloni. He was the assistant. He managed assistant manager at Sevilla under George Sampoli at the time. He managed, I think, some part in the Olympic team and under 20 team at Argentina. Didn't have no experience. Everybody questioned this appointment for Lionel Scaloni for Argentina national team. That man won back-to-back Copa America and a World Cup in one. You understand? So, let me say this to say that Miguel Cole was a director at Barbican. Schaefer came in, and what they said, Schaefer picked him and for him assistant. Schaefer went away, tell Miguel Cole, say, yo, get the credentials ready, Kohli do your hard work. He must say, went to Spain, get him thing up. He went to UAE, Iran, and I've done his coaching course. What I have saw, I don't know if you have it, but I saw it on transfer market that Kohli is a UEFA Pro license. That man have spent number of years away developing and structuring football over in UAE. He's a brilliant mind of football. He's a hard work, like Miguel Kohli is a hard working manager.
I know that for a fact because I work with it
like
at
in
Barbican.
work. You get what I mean? I say that man don't sleep. So we'll have somebody out there where if we can help to bring him in the system and help him mold him into what the federation wants as a system, I think Miguel Kohli is a brilliant mind of football as well. Someone who is not far away from a coaching position at the national level. Arif is probably right there, knocking on the door, just waiting for the opportunity. Just like Scaloni did, no managerial experience at the high level. Miguel Kohli managed caretaking manager teams in the Middle East. I think if we have a local coach, need to give him that opportunity. I think Miguel Kohli is a brilliant mind, and him having credentials. Him have done his work around the Far East as well. You understand? I mean, you want to zone in, show a curtain?
No, man, but just a listen to you, man. Just a listen.
So local coaches, coach. What you think about Miguel Kohli, and you think he's at that level, or he still needs a couple more jobs to get to that level? How should take opportunity if we really need to take an opportunity, from a young manager, someone that's going to use modern style of tactics, the way of how football is going at this moment?
No, I think Miguel Kohli could get the opportunity, and I thought Miguel Kohli would get the nod over Argrimson, the last coaching appointment. I thought it was Miguel Kohli,
Yeah.
Because Miguel Kohli was at a high where he was coaching down in the Middle East.
Yeah.
He was doing very well with the team.
Yeah.
And knowing that he had a stint with the national program before as an assistant coach, now would be the time to bring him in and help groom him with the coaching staff that he wants around him, and let him pick him own coaching staff that he wants around him. Don't just give him people around him just like that, because Jamaica need to stop do that. Giving the coaches the head coaches persons around them where they are not comfortable with, they don't know anything about, can't trust them. That's coaches have to be walking off the bench, going up in the stand.
That's madness, man.
Hey, I don't like that in the Carter.
That's madness.
I don't like. What you think about that shower curtain?
Yes, the thing is, hey, we have trouble there, So I've been listening to you guys, but here's the thing, I think Jamaicans overall have a way of how to do things, and I think we think we are the best, even though in reality we are not. But we think that way, which is not a bad way of thinking.
Yeah.
Well, I think we let that way of thinking control us, and sometimes make we look foolish. So when you look pan the Jamaican system, right, and the coaches, you realize the coaches who are outspoken, who know what's going on and see what the team really needs. You realize them coaches who really outspoken get a fight, right?
Yes, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and the coaches them are silent. It's like a them get the nod, and it's like a friend thing which no bowls well for the team. So it look like the coaches will work best with the coaches that are the best, yes, man.
Yeah.
Who just there for your opportunity. Who just there for your opportunity, and anything goes.
And a PAD. Don't forget that. And a PAD. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those coaches get the nod because they are easily controlled, as compared to coaches who
excellent shower curtain.
So for example, you have a time when Jerome Waite was there, you have a coach like Jerome Waite who is outspoken, right? And you hear him all the times in the JPL saying that the players are not up to scratch, and you know, we need more. You find players like them really would get a fight when
coaches
really coaches like them who really need to be a part of the team, who have input, who really know the thing and see what's at hand and who is on the ground, right? Because
Yes.
you have some people there on the ground who is just a yes man, while you have people there on the ground who is not a yes man and who really want the team to go further and want the system to be better and literally go against the norm to try to get us there. And then people, they get a fight. Lenny Hyde too, right? Lenny Hyde to get a fight. I think Lenny Hyde have a youth program where literally did that work, and Lenny Hyde should at least been a part, of the youth program. Right? And you see persons like them, you see but then when you have Bertie Spell, never Bertie Spell, I think is one of the better youth organizers in terms of youth players, youth coaches, right? And you know, see them coaches really get the nod. So it kind of bowls, not well for me in terms of how we really go forward. And if you hear Speid talk a while ago, it seems some bias there night, because he's saying that he wants the local coaches. It would be good to have our local coaches building a system, but we don't need for that. We don't need for wait 15, 16 years to do that. We can do it now by doing the right thing. And it seems like to me that Speid wants to be the man who have the say, Him know the know-how and him know what we really need, but I think him wants to be the man who definitely have the say if you say, and me do this.
Yeah.
Me did start this, and me did do this as a
And shower curtain. Remember just waiting. The truth be told, as much as how we beat Craig Butler, Craig Butler is one of the first man come in and start to say that thing, but we need a national identity, Craig Butler, You remember Nicardo?
Yeah,
Craig
really
Butler was one of
really come out bold with it.
Bold.
Like,
I
bold.
say-
Because one time when they said that, people laugh off of you.
Yeah, Craig was one of the person was driving this. So we need an identity, we need a style of play for the national team. And he was on it. And people was like saying, it's rubbish him talking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think there's a bias. As we say, it's just the Jamaican spirit. We think we are the best at what we do, and we think, we're better than others. And even when the evidence is there, most of we play a blind eye to it and still lost there in our shell as if we are the best, when truth and in fact we are not. So I think Speid has the know-how, and you see some little things where tell us, boy, me not too into Speid like that as some person. I mean, I love him. I do it with Cavaliers. I like him. I get himself knowledgeable, because knowledge is the key. Yeah. But I think he uses it, as me I say, to his advantage, as opposed as to really fully build. So, for example, during the Premier League season, right? There are some. You can't beat a man for him no still, but right?
Yeah.
There's some last to the game where I think Speid know, where probably the other coaches don't know him overall. Like, and I think he used it. Yeah, he used it to his advantage. I'll never forget that Premier League season.
A ball generalship, you call it.
Yes, him use ball generalship. Says I look at general man. So you see my sister and look at things. You have to look behind the smoke screen to see what I really have won. Yeah. When you look on how outspoken he is to even his interviews and bring off himself, him seem to be like a man where he might try to show, say, hey, I'm me the man for that thing at this moment. And I want to look a stylish way. So come on, let me tell you, I'm just the technical director. I'm just the head of the technical committee. But but in the most interviews, even more than the president himself. And some things them say it must speak more than even other persons on the board and other persons at the JFF. And it will bring up a thing as if, hey, look, you see me the most, and I'm the one who's always willing to give interviews, and hey, I have the know-how and I have this, like, He bring up a local screen and try to play soft, but behind the picture, he might push himself for sure, say, yo.
Him arrogant.
He's not really the man. So if anybody I really look for, say, yo, Jano, who will be the next president? Boy, Raymond are the man, and we not see certain man enough. And boy, we love the president, him cool and calm, but we not see him enough and thing. And And Speid know it, and Speid know the Speid. I do this with Cavaliers, and him always up for interviews, and him have the know-how on him, even with him ways, but him have him intentions behind it, right? I
Yeah,
can remember
that's so
clearly.
true.
Yeah, I can remember clearly. During the 2018 leading up to the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. I remember clearly. I don't know if people forgot this. I'll never forget it. When we lost a couple matches, right?
Yeah.
He did an interview when he just came in and was a part of the JFF. I was asked an interview. I think it was on coach's desk. And he said during that time, and a paraphrase, maybe some to this effect, but something like this, where him say, if it was for him at this moment, when we still had opportunity to qualify, for the 2022 World Cup, him say right now, he would have rather give players getting the exposure, of local players getting the exposure, than looking to go to the World Cup right now. And when me hear that, I'm like, whoa,
Madness.
it's total madness. Me never forget that. I never forgot that interview they leading up to the 2022 World Cup, and seeing him now and seeing him do some things. Me I look behind the smoke screen. Man, really like how some one I look. Me I see look at finer details thing. Then me I look on the finer detail things. Them and me I watch him and me I observe him as compared to the big things where people are seeing him attack. I mean I dig deep and I'm think the man I watch him and see him use him local style to get advantage, to be advantageous and to put himself up. So it's way beyond how people look on it, but him know him I do for real, but definitely in all his know-how, him is a smoke screen and definitely I put himself in a position to try to look as if, I am the man, but I am not the man. But in a female, I am the man. If you look
yeah. I mean, I pick up that in a couple of interviews. Even the one that he just did with Sportsmax, I think they were saying something as like, remember, I'm the club champions winner. You understand? Like, puff up him chest. So, me get that from him. But
No, him's a regional.
Regional, yeah. All right. So, why I have to beat Speid and all them things? How can you take Jerome Waite from the assistant poll and give Reddingman, the man or the assistant coach? How? Tell me what kind of credential that man have over Jerome Waite locally?
When I can't see neither Nicardo.
Coach, what is leading up to that appointment for Reddingman? What was his experience in local football?
All right. How I know Meran, he is a female coach. I know him as when I was in Jamaica. That's the only thing I know him as. Then when I left now, I realized he was coaching at schoolboy football. Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, I think one of those D Cup school.
Yeah. That's all I know. I never hear of him coach.
He had a short stint at Umberland. Know that for a fact. I did see a short stint at Umberland.
I didn't even know that because I was just gonna say I didn't know of him coaching any Premier League team or anything of that. And then I see him in the national program and I say, wait, how this man reached to the national program and never even win a Premier League? Or what is his claim to fame?
That's why I say we can't complain if we call for a man like Miguel, because we see them take away one of the most successful local coach in our Premier League for a coach that who haven't won anything at the major level locally in Jamaica. Come on to men's football, especially. You understand? So you see when things happen like that, show curtain, you have to put Speid in at the punching ring and punch him on the side like, yo, wake up, what you do? How is that possible? You understand? So, I know these are the appointment like you have a real question. Like, yo, there's a few times where I listen to Speid interviews, I'm want to give him the benefit of the doubt and knowing that, look, say, we can trust him on a certain level. But when you go back and make certain decisions, like, how can us as fans trust you? When you're not doing
I understand where you're coming from, Ricardo.
It frustrates me to know that a man like this have the brilliant mind of football to know what it takes for a coach to success.
To be fair to Meran, as we say, I know him as a female coach, isn't it? But to be fair to him, it's a man where I want them silent man where they be and do the courses them, you know. If you look at the time based on qualification, they would have to say the man probably Peart
Yeah.
was the top in terms of coaching pedigree, the top
So what about
one them.
what about Vassal? Vassal is up there for
Yeah,
quite a while.
Vassal go get Femon after
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
after him. I think it's him Peart. I think it's Peart first. Peart, I think is A license. I think if I'm not lying.
Shower curtain. In terms of credential, I wouldn't question them capability in terms of that, but
Yeah.
may I talk on the grass and
Yeah,
where.
man, me know what you talk.
Yeah.
That's why I say people looking on and listening probably would have said, true, when I say no. But if it's based on qualification, they would have justified say it's based on qualification and the fact that, you know, he's more
Okay
qualified
then.
than the rest
Okay
of the
then.
coach in
Well,
terms of paper wise, as
yeah.
compared to the because right now I think Peart different from Speid. I think Peart is the top man now. I mean, you have other person.
Yeah, I heard them say it. I heard them
Yeah,
say it
Peart are
about
the
Peart.
top man now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I get, but the difference still paperwork. They really dictate say, oh yeah, that good enough because we have just like we have enough mechanic out there where them can't tell you the technical names of the parts them of the vehicle. But me I tell you, say if you give them a car, them
Them
me I
fix
tell
it.
you the experience
man.
of them man
That
have
experience,
them
alright,
mash up the car and do it proper.
Yeah.
As compared to a man who probably go school out of the certificate, in the experience like that. So he probably can't tell you the theory part, but if you put it on the field, you know, it's a totally different thing as a man with experience where we've been there and been in the thing himself. So I think that is where we're going wrong and experience. As I said, Jerome, my boy have to be a part of the system long time, you know. Him shouldn't be out of the system, should have be a
Cool.
part of the system. So yeah, man, from them time then.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing, and what you notice with the difference is that the coaches were really there for the longest while, were really there and do the job. You really find out that them literally select who they want to select. So, for example, Grimo was here.
Yeah.
You notice that Grimo there for a while and him look around and him never there fully, but him there for most part than Steve.
Dan Steve Macklin, yeah.
And if you notice, him look around and even though them game who they want to game, him realize them never ready and actually opted for go for who him want. So him
And
go for
John Wall was very outspoken.
yes, him go for John Wall and him go for him goalkeeper coach and him go for certain people as part-time team for, you know, for bring about his philosophy the best way and think and impart him thing, right? And if you, before that, if you look and even Schaefer to where they there for some time to, Schaefer literally went around and picked Miguel Coley out of everybody else. It was Schaefer who literally picked Miguel Coley.
Miguel, yeah, I know that for a fact.
So definitely coaches supposed to have the opportunity for, you know, if you pick who them want, and I mean, Moran Garden did it too long now. I think did it from Tapa time and him, you know, and Grim's time and even them did it in Grim's time, you still it's just a Grim's bring on owner people them.
Yeah, Grim's realized he's not competent with his job.
Shower
Yeah.
curtain. I hear you said something earlier on, even about fitness with the national program. Say the team don't look fit. Even the national fitness coach is a Cavalier man, you know, Lamar, you know.
Yeah, man. And this is the thing though, different from the players not getting enough game time on their club fitness level. I think as me tell them, I go watch a couple training sessions, like literally, and me I tell you, yo, it's said we will play the same way we train, bro. Been saying that. Said we will play the same way we train, bro.
No, this one. Seriously?
No, like seriously. The same things when you see the team do. The same things when you see the team. When you see the team I do know. A man say we not an identity and we not this and we not that. But I beg to differ because when you watch a team, the team just kept doing the same thing over and over. And that is coach's instruction. When as I say, when we watch from Tapa time, right? Leading up to now, each coach have a different way of how them play, but the system basically remain the same long ball, kick long business and run down business and counter attacking remains the same.
Yeah.
Though the coaches have them different touches to the thing. So in a Tapa time, him literally go for before Tapa day was Schaefer, right? And Schaefer had a mixture. Schaefer had a mixture with both local and overseas diasporan players, right? And you saw where there was a mixture in there, but you could have still look more fight another team there. right?
Yeah,
And
the
they
team
brought
was
us to
running.
the they brought us to the it was still the kick long ball same way
Yeah.
with a little bit more passing, probably not enough passing, but at that time, based on where the football was at that time, it could have kind of worked, and you saw we got results against the better teams. Them never look better than we, you see me? Because based on where the football was at the time when Schaefer was there and where the level they're in, that worked and the long ball worked at that time, and based on the quality we managed to beat up bigger teams. But whenever about the USAs and the Mexicos, it posed a threat. But the fact that Schaefer had the team for a for a good while, the same couple of players for a good while, they kind of had a band and a little more fight was there and a little more chemistry was there. So you see, when we play the bigger teams, we never get blown away because a
Yeah.
little more chemistry and a little more band was there in a mixture. When Tapa take over now, it was basically less of the overseas base players and more of MLS and local.
Yeah,
So what you
USL.
saw in that game, you see the system stayed the same way, the long ball system same way, but a different couple of players with the same long ball. But what you saw with Tapa time was more fight. So you found out that a better fight was there than Schaefer team. Though the blend, the chemistry was there.
Yeah.
Schaefer team, a better fight was there in Tapa time. So because most local players were trying to look for like them literally have some of the proof to try to look for, for people see them. So you find a fight there in another team, they were more, you find a better
The
fight than
only
Schaefer time. Yeah.
sure, the only
Yeah.
man when we see come in with that try the passing game was a Paul.
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 Yeah, so that's why I sure so we literally have an identity, but football has evolved past that. Zine, I try to show you, say, Zine, so because I share the long ball, it's still in a shape at time, but there was a mixture with diaspora and local. And fight the dead here, but when Tapa take over, him kind of limit the diaspora and to just mostly MLS and local, right? Do him still have the core like the Mariapa and the Hector and the thing. And when my boy are gone, him name when Rudolph gone, him turn Hector into a stadium. Because of Hector's composure and in passing range. Just like we are talking about King now.
And Kevin Lambert.
Yeah, and Kevin Lambert. But and you see the same long ball system, but you saw more fighting at Tapa time, right? With those players, right? And you saw that him literally bring the team there to the Gold Cup final again. Right?
Yeah.
So you see the same long ball system, but a little more fight, and with Schaefer was a little more blend. They will lead up to Al Grimson now, where you see it's the same long ball, but you see Al Grimson's philosophy in terms of defensive structure, right?
Yeah.
And you see that Al Grimson brought a defensive structure that we never had in Schaefer time or in Tapa time, but you still saw the long ball same way. True or false?
Yeah, man, true.
Yeah, so you still saw the long ball, right?
Yeah.
What we know when you saw the change when you stopped playing long ball was when the look of stint the Paul had. And yes, you could have said, yeah, we still get blown away defensively, but you saw we were trying to put more short passes together. And there was something kind of building with the players definitely getting the advantage to playing at them natural role. And you see how that bring about a better passing system and players are playing them natural role and players are playing them role. And you saw where players more comfortable. And you see the passing game did not come in effect, but the defensive structure wasn't all that. Then Al Grims to come now, and you saw about the same long ball system with a more defensive structure, and we are depend on the individual talent up front, right?
Yeah.
So, but the football evolved past that, and what you find now, you find it's a teamwork thing. So even with the talents we have, because yes, people say, boy, yeah, we are other teams I get better players there now, so they might catch up to you. But we've been getting better players as the years progress, the same way to like them. So not like we now get better players and them get players and we just have the same couple of players them. We are get better players. We see the Bailey come in after a while from Tapa time. We see the Demario Graves. We see the Mikel Antonios. So we are get better with the pin up them, and promoted and the bell them come in. So we too are get better players. But we still play the old style of football and we not reach up to we not move up to modern day football and it's a hold back. And then we have too much prima donna players on the field, along with the players them not fit. And the game gone thinking wise, we have to think fast and we don't have them players that even though we have the quality, them not show it on the field. So you have a team where have less quality players than us, but them football them football, them have catch up to modern day football. This team press, team defense, and team transition. And we still upon individual brilliance and some prima donna football. So we're far off, bro. So that's why you find them teams that even though with less quality, them up to scratch with modern day football and them and move the ball and move as a team. And once as you no matter how talented a team is, once as you are moving the ball around that team and that team is unfit, and along with having to chase the ball, may I tell you, them are going to lose stamina after a while and them are going to look poor, no matter how talented they are. If they are unfit and not able to run, them are
We
look
can
poor.
say this. You see, when we beat Guatemala Tuesday night in the National Stadium, they went home and they had 2 training sessions. You know where those training sessions kept at the time, show curtain boss? It was inside of a conference room. Yeah, and this was somebody that who are associated with who cover this Guatemala team day in and day out. That this coach at the Reggae Boyz team in many games, many different films, and how we're going to zone them and what was their weakness at the time, and how they played the football Tuesday night in the National Stadium, and they went back to other film and watched us and directly look at what the Cuban team did as well. That was a big thing for them. That what this fella told me as well. You understand? So there was no training session on the pitch, on the grass. Luis Tenya brought his player back home for 2 video session, training session in our conference room where everything it was directly about film. And he had every Guatemala player know which channel they need to run to. If they're going to step out of their zone, there will be a cover for that player as well. So just like how the aeroplane in the sky have a channel where they have to fly the plane, the pilot, Luis Tenya did something exactly like that. Every player have a channel and every player have details of instruction of what to do. So, and then it move on into the Gold Cup because Guatemala have always been, one of those teams in Central America that always get beat up, Nicaragua and that. It's been a while. But since this coach came in, probably 2021, 22, he bring a more modern type of touch around the football. The federation as well, they back him and give him the resource.
Yes.
You understand, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I say, Nick. I tell you, the teams them now is modern day football. And I tell you, once they get players who are willing to play for you and who are fit and have a level of technical ability, they're not going to be the best technically. As long as they are fit and willing to run, I tell you, a team who is not technically all that good, as long as they are running into channels and spatial awareness, they will move the ball around you and make you look like you're not try. Even though you're better than them, you might can dismiss them one-on-one and dismantle them. But once as they are willing to run and move the ball, and that is what Jamaica don't do with the way back at time, bro. I tell you, we need a whole heap of catching up, even with the talent we have. I've been saying this, and I tell you, we have a live to see it. If we don't get a coach who is up to standard with modern day football, I will start making players fight for them spot, bro, and fight for one come play for the team like that, bro. Despite the quality, we are in a problem because we don't have a modern day.
I agree with your shower curtain.
Yeah. We don't have a modern day coach. That is one, right? So we have to go depend on individual brilliance. But individual brilliance, as I say, can go so much and no much more without team effort. Zin, you see the moment Jamaica start to play modern day football with the talent we have, bro, and players know so them now have a spot in the team like that, bro. It no matter if it means that Kaim Dix are the man who are willing to carry out the instruction and we can move the ball better. Zin, then Kaim Dix if we get the start, bro. I saw me see it,
Yeah.
So if we choose the best players, the best possible 26, the players them who are willing to run and get this ball moving here and show it every time them go out. Them will get the start to me. And even if a big name player now do it, he have to come off of the bench. A simple so me see, but the coach have to have the testicular fortitude to do that. And I don't see him doing that right now. So it's just a watch and see. But what do we have, bro? May I tell you?
Bro, I've seen the Panamanian coach drop important players just because he's not matching up to the standard of what he really want him to deliver. The Honduras coach have done it because of indiscipline in the team and bringing lesser quality and getting more out of that player. Jesse March say, hey, who the hell is playing Alphonso Davis in attacking third? This guy's a left back. What he can do to the game as a left back, he can do more than what he's doing as a right winger. So our players are not getting penalized for not doing the structure that they need to carry out on that football pitch. You understand? Go back to even the I think Panama and Guatemala game. There's a player named Alton. He didn't do what Luis Tenor was asked, and he found himself bench for the next 2 games, and he spare him for the game that they lost again. The game that who beat them again in the semi-final. They lost a game in the semi-final. Was it Mexico? I think whoever beat them, but he spare him and give him opportunity, and he didn't deliver, and they crucified him. Said that might be his last game in the national shirt if he don't change his attitude. You understand? I'm going to say this on the last show that, look, Romel Kyoto left the Honduran national team to go on an island in Honduras to have a party with his wife. Yeah, that was her birthday, and he never smelled but that Honduran shirt for the next 13 months. You understand what I say, brother? Yeah. And Romel Kyoto at that time was Honduras' pinnacle at the time, alongside Luis Palma. So we have players around getting penalized of not either the discipline or they're not doing what the coach really want them to do. It's easy, bro. It's easy. I have seen this coach right now on the line. His best player isn't doing the stuff on the pitch. I was his best player at that time too. And guess what? I wasn't doing it. And him give me the ear dryer. The ear dryer. I make me know say, yo, you have to pick up your socks. It's like a find yourself on the bench. Yeah, that's what I mean, brother. So we, as an admin, the coaching staff, they are not penalizing the players. That, bro, it's happening more consistent than ever right now, brother. Bro, Mark clearly never did argue them here. Garrett, what's the other name? Mackinoff. Them man, they work, brother.
Yeah, man.
Carry out the message, brother.
Yeah, man. Them man, they work, man.
You understand? Believe it, some of them man, they come as much as they might not technical gifted like these crops of players, but guess what? These guys fight for each other on the football pitch. So because of them lesser technical ability, them use a little bit of hard working and extra motivation of know that, look, I'm going to work. You understand? So these players know, why is it that we cannot do something to get them to that level, or if not, find themselves on the football bench. And I'm going to say this. If you look at when a lot of these players don't play, our national team look good. When we won back-to-back on Central American side, you look at the players that play. How comes that team look a little bit better than how we saw them playing in the Gold Cup? Unity Cup.
But here's the thing I know. But here's the thing I know to that. You have to analyze that whole heap of ways, because even though that I know which one attack, the one we perform well against US when Bailey never did, and a couple other players, and they will go beat up what's the name, Panama,
yeah.
But here's the thing I know with that now. I think some surprise some players did surprise the teams then. For example, CFAS did surprise US. They never know if they expect. But along with that, the defensive structure was far better. And I think the counters, if you watch the counters, or we counter the team, the goal we score, it was a quick counter.
Yeah.
So every time we score is literally when we play to a strength.
Yeah.
If you follow me, I say. So
the goal we score. You remember the goal that Amarbel score?
Yeah, man.
We build up the play. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time we play, anytime we score is on a play to a strength. You name the goals. Every time we play, I want to play to a strength, or we play fast, or we try to move the ball fast. Yeah. The moment you slow down the ball, we're never going nowhere. Right? All right, check it. So the match, remember the counter where CFAS get? CFAS is actually there on the last man, you know. And when my boy get the ball, and just kick it long to CFAS, you know.
The 1v1 where miss?
Yeah, man. When kicking in a turn hand.
Yeah.
It was a quick counter where cause that, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to catch teams off guard, boy, you have to set up your team to do quick counters.
And
And Jamaica normally set up so that did cause CFAS. The quick counter did cause CFAS to catch US half guard, cause US high press rate, and then CFAS have the speed. So when you kick it long and counter them, CFAS have the speed. So we have to play to his strength. So whenever we play to his strength, it no matter which team we use, if we use a weakest team, the opportunities that we will get is always when we play to his strength. If you're looking at the Nigeria game, speed,
yeah.
again, when CFAS run down and square cross and Dixon, I run from where one part and Russell I run from where one part for going to meet the ball. Speed.
Yeah,
the moment we play too slow and start slow it down and now move, we easily mark out and then them nullify it. So that basically I said to we, say, brother, we have to set up the team. Even if we not going to play modern day football, we have to set up the team to play as best as possible to our strength. And I don't think we are doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Coach, you have anything you have to say, because I'm closing out at this moment. It's going 1 a.m. at my time. I know.
No, more than we just hope say come them 6 games after the World Cup qualification in a September, October, and November period there. So the players them can step up and play some good football and qualify the nation for the World Cup.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, Speid and McLaren, the president. I don't know why the president's been silent, after atrocious, campaign in the Gold Cup. Why we haven't? You heard anything about the meeting at Short Curtain about they promise us about McLaren need to get into a meeting after?
Yes, I heard about it.
Them get the meeting already, man.
Man, the meeting keep.
Okay.
Them said the meeting. I think Speid was on a program the other day and the meeting. I think him say the meeting was held and then them decide for at this point in time them not think it wise for fire the coach, because him not feel what I am for do, which is to qualify for the World Cup. So they must say based on the World Cup matches them in play so far before now, him not feel in other part. So despite the World Cup, him get a leeway because him not feel like that. So then now he'll want fire now at this point in time, if we get somebody new. And the fact that him not feel what them carry mean for so far. So they might give him an opportunity to continue finish when him start, basically.
I mean, good luck. Hopefully, we can get the Advil sponsor our national team, because I think a lot of us going to need some painkiller coming September, October, and November.
It's a pharmacy. It's a pharmacy.
It's gonna be tough, bro.
It's gonna be tough. As I said before, if you hear me explain, I'm not too optimistic about the coach. I'm not expect none different from the coach. I mean, the coach been showing us over. So as I said, I just watch and see if him. I mean, in words, no really hold no water to me, right? But me not. According to him talk, it seems as if the World Cup was enough for him see what him need to do. So
yeah.
So me watch, as I say, in words, him no much hold water for me, but based on him final interview, seems as if this World Cup has shown him enough and him know what to do.
Me could leave him with that last interview that he did.
Yeah. So me could leave him with that last interview and then see him come with. But if him not coming on a different, I wouldn't be surprised. If him come with somebody different to work, then we could have probably give him a tap on him shoulder. Because we can give somebody, the respect when them do. But if him come back again with 4 midfielder, definitely him dunce. If him not come back with midfielders who literally want the ball, even if we not fit, because a team cannot be fully fit, but you have players who want the ball, who are good at the ball, who can move the ball around. And listen to me, based on how Jamaica play now, we don't know any of the modern we have our football player who are unfit. And if are the same players they have a pick, they will need if you have a better crop of midfielders who want the ball. Because the more you have the ball, I think the better you rest. The more you have the ball, I think the more
that's the best way to defend. That's the best way
if we can literally have midfielders who want the ball, we can actually keep it somewhat so we can get a local relief and a local rest, then it's far better than going out to the same team and a chase every minute. And I guarantee you, say, Trinidad give you a taste in the second half there of what they're about. And I can tell you, I see Trinidad going at a Gold Cup you're going to play. Them get trashed in the first game. But if you watch the games them after that, You see, so them literally improve them passing more crispier, them runs more crispier. Me I tell you, them just a lick them lip right now.
Yeah.
And I say, me can't wait for about Jamaica again. Jamaica come, pray to God say Jamaica come with the said way like how them
You know, me not worry about the game in the office, more about the game we're gonna play on Port of Spain. That's the game I worry about.
But if we're not up to scratch, whether we are playing the game in the office or not, bro, we have to go up to scratch. So we definitely, if are the same couple of players, we definitely have to get midfielders. We have to go first. We have to get midfielders that play them natural role, and we have to go bring midfielders who are willing to keep the ball. So whoever come in, we ever get, and whoever pick it at the midfield, have to be midfielders who want the ball, and midfielders are playing them natural role. And I think once I will get that and can hold possession a bit better,
Yeah.
you know, I think we will do well.
Yeah. All right. That's it, Jenks. You know, really appreciate you guys coming here and spill the beans. You know, coach, respect for forward and ear and give your takes as well. Really appreciate it. Everybody in the chat.
You're
really
welcome, man.
appreciate. Yeah, everybody in the chat really appreciate Show Curtain the boss. You know, respect as usual. Forward on and give your takes as well. And you know, Conrad, you know, Clive up top. You know, 1G, you know, everybody uptown 1G, and you know, everybody in the chat. Big up on yourself. You know, Ballpree TV, you know, Francis, everybody, you understand? Peter Mystic as well, you know, you have a few that he was talking about. Miguel Coley talking about him that boss a locally because he need to feed him family. Yo, the money not easy, you know. Yo, but you know, and then someone said about Leniad, you know, look, Leniad is a very good youth coach, but we just feel like probably him just never try to make it to the next level. I think that laid back thing that kind of kill Leniad coaching career, to be honest. And I don't know why it was like that or why it's still like that, but only God knows. But I know teacher I'd have a lot to offer, but that little laid back thing of not to be aggressive, get that coaching education higher, and be regarded as one of the top coaches in the region, because that experience we have is very vital, you know.
True,
very
man.
vital. You understand?
And you see how much him connect with the young players.
Yeah, man. You know,
from a longer time.
Yeah, I think that just laid back. Even when them that say, yo, he never have him credential for coach in the JPL team with VA. Like, yeah, wanna like, yo, Lenny I'd never up to that standard, bro. Like, yeah, wanna like, yo, what teacher I'd do? You know, so I mean, maybe
it was shocking. Based on the results that he was getting, because him Tivoli win the Premier League already, I think, and which other team?
Portmore.
Is it Harborview? Him no win Portmore Harborview 2012.
I think it's Portmore and Tivoli, man.
So no win. So Lenny had no win.
I don't remember Harborview. I think it's Portmore. If I remember right, I think it's Tivoli and Portmore. But I think if you notice around the world, so I think footballers and it's the same. We could set a tapato.
Yeah.
I think the footballers who turn coach, I think they are better at coaching than those persons who just go turn coach. If you notice
Conrad TG. So Conrad, he didn't win a Premier League with Harborview. I try to remember. I think Brian Brown was there as well, 2012. I don't know who was that coach for Harborview when they won that Premier League, but yeah, I know he won in a few different teams. But yeah,
players who turn coach, I think them have a different connection to players, and that is why you see the Pep them as me I tell you, boy. You see the other coaches them who play already, who come back. You see them come back and be such good coach because they have the rapport, they understand the players them have got.
And that's a good point, you know. And if you look at other national team have a lot of past players.
Definitely.
And in the coaching staff and in the admin as well. And we alone really run us and really have the I mean, you know what? And we alone, brother, we are the something wrong with. Boy, no, brother.
We are the everything that is bad, but that's what I tell you. We be
I mean, I know, brother. We have the something.
But that's a hope. My hope really.
Even Real Madrid. Real Madrid job for Xavi Alonso.
Yeah. My hope, my long-term hope still are really if we just make it at this World Cup and move up the FIFA rankings. So I mean, more young, more scouts can come to Jamaica.
You know me hear Speid say. I'm have to beat him for that. Speid say something about this. He want the team reach the next level, but like him I say, him bypass that World Cup here and more focus on try to make World Cup at every World Cup after 2030. I mean, like, when I think we can try to at least the basic and fundamental stuff to get they look up. Sure, Curtin, it's the prize money I would I get for qualify. It can give you a boots, you know, for do a whole heap of things, you know.
Yeah, man.
You understand? And just being there and get that experience, you know, brother. It can get a boots, you know. You understand? So
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but you know, again, man, big up on yourself. You understand, people, you know,
Yeah, man. So
big enough.
Bless
Sure,
up with the
Curtin.
coach. Big
Yeah,
up
man.
yourself.
Nice. Yeah, big up yourself, Sure, Curtin. Nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bless up.
Sure, Curtin, I want you to stay after I end the stream, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, more stay. But people Speed want to start selling coaches now. Yo, people know bother with it. Yo, no bother with it, man. You know, bother with it. You know, we are going to a positive, you know, month and a half now, giving, you know, Coach McLaren the benefit I doubt, Coach Speed the benefit I doubt. You know, as much as we know, say, you know, what them I really say a kind of limbo type of conversation and 50-50, like them up on the fence and look over like them, you know, if we jump over or stay. You understand? So we just give them the benefit I doubt and make them do them work, and hopefully, you know, them can really get things together, because boy, I tell you, if we get 4 points in September, an emergency meeting I call in Jamaica. You understand? But people, you know, bless upon yourself, you know, you understand, manners and respect. Boy.